Hey, Q Abby? Steam Q Abby. I don't know how to say her name. There is a pretty big drop off right now. After Meteor. And Izu is fucking farming. Hello, Adrian. Hey, Phoenix. Hey, not this guy. Another philosophy stream. I did have. Wait one sec. I was tempted to use a meme. Let me see. Where it is. I have too many memes. Hey, it was this one. I saw this today. I thought it was relevant to the stream. I probably put the Valorant was good. But maybe it's because the Valorant is bad. I don't know. That I end up talking about fucking Hegel. Are you still planning to do a review of Santiago before the game starts Saturday? Yes, so Santiago starts Saturday, right? Usually I type Fnatic in, but I can't do that this time. Starts Saturday. 28th. 5 p.m. my time. So what I'll do is I'll basically stream from around... Why is my Epic Pen not working? You bastard. Why is it not working? Okay. Stream from about 11 till 4:30. And then I'll just raid someone after. Good sleep, yeah, decent. I stayed awake too long. I ended up watching The Great Gatsby at like 1 in the morning, so I didn't fall asleep till like 3. I'm worried that T1... I'm worried this is more RIQ just being bad. Let's just get into it.
With the way RRQ pilots this, with the combo they have with the double initiator and the double info initiators, Q pilots this with the combo they have.
Just a 4-1. Munchkin lurk. I like that Munchkin's a cooler who is happy to lurk. Like it's so refreshing to constantly have these idiots say that you can't be a lurking IGL.
Initiator and the double info initiators.
I don't think he should be lurking, to be fair. It probably should be Killjoy, but I think it's fine.
Makes it really hard to like confuse them.
Just T1.
Get the jump on them, so I'd be looking for T1 to get a hit. Yeah, he did. He got Izu.
Izu down to 40.
Already 3, but look at the formation. There's no formation.
5, Jemkin to 50. Salvo sent trying to late buzz. However, the Wiley script pass that just gets stunned up, however.
They're going together, Elbow, though.
Into Hall, trying to flush Jemkin out, swings the corner, runs
Jemkin just looked a little bit uneasy.
Collect the one, but Sparrow fast on.
Get a hit? Yeah, he did. Got undo.
T1, my bros, man, my bros. Some good standard 4-1 Valorant here from the boys.
Stunned up, however. As now the
Just some
pressure
good, honest 4-1.
out, swings the corner, runs out of those bullets. There's a swap, easy, will be able to collect the one, but Sparrow fast on the trade. This meteor will be found. Monyet, solid headshot, but Buzz just swinging out a little bit wider. Does manage to find that kill at the same time. Look at Cushy's awareness. Doesn't have the shot. Munchkin bruised. Doesn't elsewhere. Crosshair little jump out of the window. Sparrow still at 35 HP. Going to be finished off as stack health on in hand. And this is the witch.
On, yeah, just knows it.
They did have to hit some nice shots, but I enjoy the fact that they're playing some honest 4-1. It's because they're smoking in the bathroom. Yeah, I heard the meme. Heard the meme.
Three-player stack.
The headset thing did. I'll be honest. You can't not comment on that headset thing. The headset thing looks ludicrous. I didn't see any clips. I only saw the picture. But the headset where like he's got his fucking ear out can hear. It's a little bit bad.
Crazy guy, flash at the ready, sends it out behind the tail. And it will be Izu able to collect the elimination. Meteor at the same time looking his way into mail, but has gone completely. And Sparrow narrowly manages to get that knife.
I still think knife kills should give you one more orb.
Mess of egg on
Like,
his face there.
actively have a reason to go for knife kills. Plus one orb. Imagine the fucking... Imagine the shenanigans if you're a Neon with like... You're two away from orb, and you get 2 orbs for 2 away from ult, and you get 2 orbs for knifing, and then you just fucking clutch with the ult or something. It'd be so fucking sick.
Was clearly
What do you think about Nada having a VOD view in the middle of the match? I mean, that was also bad and should be yellow carded. I presume that yellow card was given.
could be, but check back to see if he's gone around the world.
Sending a message enough for the knife kill? No, it's not.
The
No, it's not.
doors, players the opportunity to try to go with that headhunter, but instead, it will just be tried.
This is Meteor. EA, please. Win it. Exactly. Go for the emotional damage. You can't win the.
RIQ don't have a Yoru, so this kind of like babysitting stuff is a little bit harder. I wonder who they leave on B long. If they leave Neon, is the most obvious choice, but then they got the longest rotation if it's a faster.
Win it. Something else.
That's a nice recon.
Looking for the slide around the back. Jemkin
Jemkin's not having any fun right now.
makes his exit, but
They are forcing Utilite, but it's kind of Util that they would be using anyway, maybe.
Monyet at the same time scouted by the drone from Stacks.
Mad is just thinking about what like you're asking me as someone who knows as little information as you guys do about something we both know nothing about. Obviously, pulling up your game in the middle of a official is not a great look. But what do you want me to say? I am not the person to come and try and find clip farmer for, because I'm not gonna. I don't know anything.
Continuing the poke and prod, maybe looking for an elimination.
And I'm not stupid enough to start saying stuff I shouldn't say.
Going to be at least the one player.
He meant it as a statement, not a question. I still.
But now confirmed
I have nothing to say. I have nothing more to say.
You're loaded. Suspect Munchkin. You might leave.
still down.
Look, this chat is either this VOD or a dialectical materialism. Those are the only 2 subjects we're allowed to talk about. This VOD, so anything that pertains to this VOD,
Spawn.
or Hegel.
Continuing the poke and prod, maybe looking for an elimination before they go for the.
What about chess? Chess is acceptable. If you could somehow relate chess to this VOD, then acceptable.
The one player, but now
What about when Crashes and I saw you in the club switching some lady?
confirmed
We could talk about that. About we could talk about that. Did you submit your top 15 players? It's on my Twitter. It's on my Twitter. You know, Jake, there was someone. Okay, sidetrack. There was someone on Reddit asking for stories of LANs, like LAN parties, and I actually wrote something out about like the angle I was going for was like sleeping conditions at LANs back then was obviously the biggest like difference. I feel like because like most of the time it was like 10 sweaty nerds trying to fit into a hotel room and shit like that. But then I remember the last time I went to one of those LANs was with you, and we had that hotel room that had the shower that was in the room, but somehow like it was like inset into the wall, and it didn't have any privacy barrier at all, and so it was just a open glass door where we could just see each other showering. I remember being very hesitant. I don't know if I did shower straight away, but you went straight for it, so I respected it.
Oh, now that
Hey,
you
Void.
heard that, Odin, suspect that you might leave either.
It's a massive. Mike's team. Tag down low. 35
So yeah, Jemkin's getting pressured a lot this game,
Scouted by the drone.
and then Monyet's not comfortable enough to stay deep. He gets the drone. He kind of does have to leave. They've only got one smoke left though. This should be calmed. If there's only one smoke left, there's going to be a huge gap. T1 pressuring both sides quite well. I mean, defense has no fucking clue what's going on.
T1 here, continuing to poke a prod, maybe looking for an elimination before they go for the
1 minute 05, and they got a long way to go though.
plan. Going to be at least the one player, but now
I think T1 did a good job of this when they played at Bangkok. The whole like trying to take both sides and pressuring both sides, and they were never like fully giving up anything. Implied control over middle, so that they've got all this space. They've got all this space, and then technically they do have soft control here. At 1 minute, it's pretty nice. Oh my god, but they do also just get fucking kills, don't they? But Monyet feels like he has to have this info because they got no info.
it's a massive one.
I'm surprised that with 2 drone characters, they don't have set protocols to re-clear space though. They need to re-clear something. Either send a recon out that lands like up here, maybe with like a dissipate star, and like actually try and push up, or like easily just drone out A main or something. I mean, you see the drone now, but this drone is like, this is why Sova on A is like, this drone ain't gonna see shit, basically. It's kind of difficult. You see, like, it's not gonna see anything.
Give them a bit of pause. So yeah, you see Crazy Guy now rotating over, try to go.
Jemkin is like trying, but like realistically,
Jemkin.
he's kind of fucked.
Hear that movement, the trademark pop over by Art.
He did that TP again though.
On the swing out. Landed dugout before. Should know that he's gonna be there again.
I'd be so mad. Imagine Jemkin's round here. You start here, you get pushed to here, you stand here for like a minute, you re-push onto this line, you have to TP out immediately, and then you just get fucking shotgunned. Like, it feels like you just can't do anything. What's your plan for Santiago? I'll be VOD reviewing from about 11 till 4:30 every day, and then I'll raid someone who's watch partying Santiago. So I'll start on Sunday. Sunday we'll be starting the VOD reviews, and we'll be watching the day before. I probably won't be able to do all the games before, because I take way too long VOD reviewing. But it will be these games. I will probably focus on this one. This one looks like the banger, and I like Gentlemates. This one, maybe, but I'll probably focus this one. Are you going to watch live when you raid? Probably not. Probably not. I'll try not to, anyway. Unless, like, there's a really big reason. Like, maybe BBL games, I might watch live a bit more, because I actually kind of want to watch them play. For some reason, it's like they were making posts today about going to the LAN, and like it's the first time. Like if I qualified for a global event nowadays, I probably would have that feeling of like, oh yeah, nice global event. But like it's not the same as when it was like 5 years ago. Like 5 years ago, like you go to the LAN, it's like fun. You're like, oh my god, all this new experience, and like it's fun watching all the teams that like haven't done it before, like posting all their shit on social media and stuff, you know.
Yeah, T1 is picking up where they left off yesterday, starting to really look in form. A couple of the teams that
Now it's shit, I got to go to hotel.
really thought
Yeah, now it's like, for fuck's sake, do I really want to? I've said this before, Jake, but like honestly, when we got top 4 at lock-in, we got top 4, and then we were playing. I can't remember who we were playing. It was like FPX, no Navi. I remember being like, you know, if we lost today, like I do get to go home. Like it's all right, you know. That's probably not the attitude you want to have as a coach, but
getting a kickoff, but now they are sharp as hell.
You're in position.
it's honestly, it just feels like torture, man. It just feels like torture. Like it's just not fun. After watching so many VODs, who do you think will make it out of Swiss? I don't even know who's playing who right now. Give me until Saturday or something.
He's angry about the knife.
What's your favorite country to visit for Valorant? I've answered this before.
Quite sweet there for him.
Iceland I quite liked.
Dude, Munch
Japan.
just
Iceland, Japan. Turkey. Istanbul was
and, like,
there were
the
lots.
T1 is
There's
still
things about
so
Istanbul that clearly are
pathetic.
not very great. Like
That means his
there's a lot of people and it's very busy, and like there's clearly a division in class that's quite evident. But in terms of history and culture, like it was by far the most interesting city I've been to. It was also very nice weather, and the food was actually pretty good for a vegetarian, to be honest. Paris hotel was not good. I think your first hotel was trash, wasn't it? Or was it the same hotel the whole time? I mean, I got put into a different hotel,
meteor was unbelievable
which
yesterday.
was worse. Well, actually, it was better because the hotel room in Paris, the room got really hot for no reason. Okay, finally they got Jumpin got some value.
Swing out, Jemkin. Able to get himself on the board at long last. Solid shot that put down Buzz.
Okay, just eco. Is there really anything to say? I like the simplicity. The one lurker is the killjoy this time. I wonder why they switched it around. I did say that I think I prefer the killjoy being the lurker. Is it because they started more of the 3-1-1? No. Yeah, they just have 4-1, and for some reason Astra switched for killjoy. I think this is better. Maybe it's just because they knew on pistol round they couldn't afford a lion bot and turret, and so they just said fuck it, we ball. But yeah, soft control, full control, and then little lurky.
An open B side meteor.
It's probably a very good default when you have this composition. Like, it is quite difficult to take as much as what they're trying to do most rounds. And so like having the lurker come up here is probably very dangerous, if not impossible. So having the lurk option being more center of the map is probably quite interesting.
This round, even with
And especially against the chamber comp anyway, because they're not going to have as much util. Wait, what the fuck happened here?
Noted on the lurk, and this is gonna have to argue. Landing heads on a swivel. Dean approaches, sliding down through water, clear of the dart, a tuck back.
Oh, it's just neon things, man. Neon, man. Fucking stupid agent. How much harbor do you think we'll see this event? I suspect a tiny bit of harbor, with NRG being the most likely to abuse it. I think if we're going to see a team do a full 180 on the comps with harbor, it will be NRG. EDG already plays some harbor, but I don't think it's going to be... I don't think they're going to lean into it more. Paper Rex is definitely possible. They've always been a little bit harbor pilled. And it does suit Harbors can be played extremely aggressively. Liquid could be interesting, but the problem with Liquid is that they're already playing Wayne on much more comfort. Like Wayne plays Omen over Astra. Like historically, Team Liquid have been an Astra pilled team, but Wayne has had to go to Omen for comfort. I don't know if they'll be able to get him to play Harbor this quickly. How Korea CN is to LoL? What region is that to Val? There isn't that region in Val. There's not as much discrepancy in the differences between regions as there is in League. I would argue that China is probably the worst and APAC's probably the best, but it's pretty even overall.
It's just kind of somehow unanticipated, but you gotta be thinking all the time with a Neon on the server. That
Yeah, I guess it means Forsaken probably has to play Harbor because I don't think Jing's playing Harbor.
there are going to be shotguns, especially on eco rounds, and you would love to spread out a bit more. Don't give it a chance to get the.
I like the Valorant unpredictability to some degree. I think some of it is forced in a way. Like I do think that there is the way I don't think it's acceptable how fast maps and metas change. And I think this recent patch is also adding variants in a way that's just horrible. But apart from that, I think that the game naturally being a very global game and some of the aspects of it being a little bit random, I think makes me enjoy it more. I think that it's way too much right now though. It's way too much. It's I think the game's the least strategic and the least enjoyable right now. The most random. If I was a coach, I'd be more annoyed. Like head coach.
A world away, well out of audio range. Meanwhile, Jemkin watching for the through will lurk again, enacted this time by Munchkin.
But to be fair, there's a bunch of shit that teams are doing quite poorly, so I think I'd still be fine. If teams were better, I'd be kind of more annoyed, but
All the time with a Neon on the server that there are going to be
once again just a 4-1. Why do they switch who 4-1s? So strange. There's no reasoning to me. Why is it sometimes Astra and sometimes Killjoy? I was thinking maybe it's because Meteor has ult, but he doesn't. If anything, Munchkin should be going and getting his ult, but maybe it's because Munchkin's just a fucking lunatic and is just gonna fucking solo take a main because he's just a gangster. I don't know. Is he the truth? I don't know yet. Maybe just to make lurks unpredictable. Just doesn't really make sense though. Like when I kind of think out loud, I usually have like it's not like I haven't thought that what you thought there. Like I've had that thought too. It's just that I've already concluded in my head that like maybe it's because I don't explain myself very well, but it's like I usually just say my conclusion without all my thoughts, you know? Like I know all the different reasons why you might do it differently, but my conclusion is I don't really know why. There must be something deeper than the kind of obvious. Right now, it's like Killjoy only lurks this way, and then Munchkin's much more happy to actually go for the big balls stuff.
The plant able to come through, lurk again enacted this time by Munchkin.
That's crazy. Yeah, like I'm not gonna lie, this is already this is already much better than like a lot of the pro I've seen from EMEA. I haven't watched BBL's pro though.
Goes for the peak.
Oh, so
just
into fight to them.
This map is being played actually a lot better than it used to be.
Can they wake up at all? Because they are running a play back to back to back. They can't find the win today.
Last round Killjoy lurked, and this round Killjoy showed herself, so they won't expect the Astra. Ah, okay. Sorry, I am really stupid, I guess. Yeah, it could be that kind of stuff. But I think ultimately, once you've already done that in a game, you can just be like, well, both of them lurk. So if you don't see Astra, it could be Astra. If you don't see Killjoy, it could be Killjoy. Which region has the best logo? I think it goes CN, Americas, and then I don't care between EMEA and APAC. I think people overrate APAC's logo massively. I think CN's is easily the best though.
Yeah, and to add on to what you're saying, he's in.
Oh, he's having a blast.
Oh yeah. No. Function part is like what voodoo earlier off to get rid of the curse. Like that's
yeah. Like I said, we talked about this earlier. I think that like so many generations of his bloodline are cursed. He gave the devil everything that he asked for.
Just a low buy.
2 or 3 rounds minimum here, and it opens up a.
I think in order to play double drone on this map, I think that you need to have a really fucking strong defense. Like, I don't know exactly how I'd play double drone defense, but I know that like on attack side, you're going to get a lot of space. Like you're going to be able to constantly re-clear B long. You're going to be taking aim in with the tail. But I don't know fully how you do defense. Like if you're losing A main fights with Teo, something might be fucked up.
Like 2 or 3 rounds minimum here, and it opens up a huge door for T1 to continue the snowball they created.
At this very second, the way T1 play, I like quite a lot. Like, I think this is some of the nicest Valorant I've watched so far in VOD review. Like, it is obviously in a lot of these rounds they're winning through gunfights, of course, but just the simple 4-1ing, the mix-ups of like getting Munchkin deep sometimes by actually helping him, sometimes we're just leaving him. The actual lurks from B. The abuse on B, I think, is very strong. Like, the idea that, like, just knowing that most teams fucking suck at holding B and post-plant's quite easy.
Pressure, but, you know, again, fast rotations could come through here for RRQ because
Early game, like, creating question marks on both sides of the map. Like, everything to me seems quite, like, as an overall idea, they seem quite logical. Here, like, even if they get over rotations here, we're gonna see Killjoy ult. For some reason, Crazy Guy doesn't know the protocol that you should be saving these for Killjoy ult, probably. So we're gonna see Killjoy ult come down. And then a nice early Astral, not waiting too long. Should be going in now. They're a little bit late on this. I would ideally want to see the spike being started, but by the time the ult finishes, because otherwise it gets a bit awkward sometimes with the floods. Especially if they have util like stars down already. So look, the flood's coming in now, and we're going to be 4v5 because someone's going to be planting, you know what I mean? We have 4 guns active right now, they have 5 potentially. But luckily it's eco, so it's not that big of a deal.
Just Cushy with a phantom. See if he can make a dent in this, but just have to save it. Might be
have I seen T1's bind yet? No. This is the first map. It's the first map.
A huge individual win there for T1 in their duelist.
5 ultimates to try to work with.
Does Buzz really need to slide that?
For T1 in their duelist.
It's a little bit. I think this is a bit of a liberal use of this. I guess he's worried, but if there is an op here, he kind of does need to slide. Okay, I'll let him off. Let's see what Munchkin does when he's 1-1-3ing. I think if they see this chamber up here, I'd imagine he's gonna start going. But it looks like they're gonna all in, and he's just gonna be a fucking late lurk again, man.
The flash turns it, has
Maybe it's a specific game plan against chamber.
be back. Crazy guy. Finding some supplementary damages.
They can just go B.
Called in. But Stacks, he's got the Hunter's Fury. Crazy guy's dead. Easy on the peak, finding Gemkin. Counter Hunter's Fury, looking for the kill, and Cushy will be able to get Meteor in the end, but it's still going to be a player advantage in the site. For the most part, open to T1. Do they know about Mon yet? Creeping forward into the Nebula, some pings coming down.
Oh no. They have art control, so they should be just going for open plant if they can for art and main. But that's a nice kill from Munya.
So Izu ends up falling. Now in a parity. 3v3. Jump peek, looking for the spam. Stacks only taking a tiny bit of damage. Get this up. 3 players situated more on this art side. Dark cleared, jump peek, relay bolt going through. Stacks able to find the one. Overdrive pop from Monyet. Shing hunting for Buzz, who's got a shorty of his own, just staying tucked within the smoke. Recalls it over to the Phantom, tagged away, ends up getting taken down as Monyet finds the third.
Munchkin's baited so hard that they don't know where he is at all.
They do manage to get it up to half. Munchkin now cheating forward, 16 health remaining. Here's the tap. He believes
It's nice.
the win streak's over.
Do you rate RRQ high? I think the liberal neons with their blue hair and excessive slides. Yeah. You're looking like evil mini. I think RRQ have high potential, but I do wonder about them. Like, I do wonder where their performance is at, because obviously, like, they started really hot and then like just got kind of trashed in the finals after the first one, I think. T1 are playing quite good, but also it's like almost like they're playing quite good against what RRQ are doing. Why do you think China is behind in terms of playstyle and meta? Because they don't have any tactical FPS experience in the same way that other regions do. Or very little.
Talk about what we saw on the screen. I want to talk about what happened off screen with Munchkin there. The whole time he's watching B. He's watching long B, doesn't see anything, When they start getting space at A, he starts making his way through mid. He goes through double doors. He wraps in towards water, checks that.
Did losing Ewok hurt them? I don't know enough about RRQ. Like, I don't know much about their history.
Generally a really good lurker.
From what I understand, Ewok's a pretty good coach, though.
This 3v3, T1 knows that it's all in front of them, so they don't have to worry about any other flanks. They could try to take those fights.
I won't be streaming Santiago live. I'll be doing VOD reviews in the morning before the games. So Sunday I'll be starting the VOD review of Saturday's games. Co-streaming for me isn't that fun. Well, it's fun, but it's like not the same level of fun. I much prefer the relaxed VOD review vibe. And it means I don't have to compete with like 1,000 other people and have like no viewership essentially. I won't be doing Paper X co-streams because I don't have allegiances. Obviously I still want them to do well. Like I think that like BBL and Mates are probably going to be the teams that I'll be kind of supporting the most. And then if they're out, Paper X probably. It'd be fun watching G2 too. But in terms of like actively, like, I've never really actively supported teams, but I do really think that like EMEA teams who are like new and young, like I feel like there's some obligation for me who has been in the scene for a long time. I think about T1. I think they're playing quite a good game right now.
So now, 2 rifles, 2 sheriffs, and a head.
That it's all in front of them, so they don't have to worry about any other flanks. They could try to take those fights in front.
It's just an anti-eco, but even like a little bit of Yoru being the chamber vibe, and then for the first time we see a little prod on art. I don't love the options we have after this of the B split really. But we have to put a lot of pressure here, I think, for this to be valuable. Whereas it looks like they might just late lurk, yeah, which I think is
At
fine.
the same time, building up.
But in the meantime, RRQ have basically got a main for free. This is a problem. I think Munchkin, I will say that if I'm Munchkin here and I see this drone coming in,
Any other flanks, they could try to take those fights.
you know that they probably got this line now. And so I think the call should be to create a lot of pressure here before we go B. Or we need to, well, ideally you want to reclear this, but it might be too much. Reclearing this or putting pressure here so that we force more people to watch over the space. Because what ends up happening is that the chamber comes here and they're able to shift one across the map. You see, like the Tao's gone this way, the Neon's gone this way, the server can come this way.
Second crash to eggs, building up towards. He's gonna be the one most slow creep up, tuck into that cubby. Drone at the ready, try to get the spot.
It is still only low buy though, so it's not that big a deal.
Drone gets cleared out. Is she keeping Xpero's position unknown for the moment?
What about T1? I don't have any allegiance to T1. And the less people that catch up in trophy wins, the better for me. For my ego.
What they've seen, so they're gonna go for a pivot. They have the spike, hand it to Neon. They're doing this once again. Get that quick rotation going through. Jemkin, however, at main could place time starting to dwindle.
Bit of a melons.
Salvo, the Buzz, respecting that. Slides over, checking in towards main, gets the spot, gets the kill. Crazy guy dead at the same time. Meteor will fall. Monyet putting the rifle to use, but only for the
Ultimately fine though.
Information on the other side of the map.
Fast art.
That operator for Jemkin, but right now nobody there. Stacks maybe gonna challenge that angle.
Kind of ballsy. Why are we recon? Does this TP come through if he sees anything here or something? It's a weird opener. It's like, I wouldn't consider this a default. I consider this just like an opener. If that makes sense. Like there's a very active idea where they're trying to get a pick around this area, it looks like.
Drone first.
Such a ballsy TP though, isn't it? There could just be someone here.
Now he's not.
I mean, what are they going to do after this? They got no drone, and they got no B long, they got no A main. They don't have the two most important parts of the map. They have middle, which I think is the least important. So I really want to see what T1's mid rounding is here. Now they don't have any initiator util.
Having to back away.
Look at this though. Look at their call.
Scale up B long, B short.
Given all this space in through B link, and they're like, well, we haven't tried this yet.
Munchkin gets punished.
Oh, the double face off the drone. Very nice. It's Munchkin dealt with, so
Now what?
Wants to do. Usually Munchkin's on his own. So for RRQ, tough read, but they just hold their default 2-1-2.
They don't really know. They're just gonna go B.
Moving too much. It's gonna have to.
Are they gonna go B with the option to cancel A, or is this what is this?
She's already rolling over.
Full flash connecting. Buzz. Did he catch a glimpse? I think yes.
Oh my Buzz has got a fucking judge. This shouldn't work. This shouldn't work. If this works, RRQ have just been kind of crap this game. Yeah, this isn't acceptable. That's not acceptable.
Tough read, but they just hold their default.
5v4 with full A main and B line.
Just gonna have to get a clean execute here, but
That flash is nice though, to be fair.
just gonna have to get a clean execute here, but
What would that flash if he wasn't here? What the fuck does that actually flash apart from someone? Some idiots through the box.
she's already rolling over.
Full flash connecting. Buzz. Did he catch a glimpse? I think yes. Moving into halls and immediately
That's crazy. That's a bit lucky, I'm not gonna lie.
Crazy guy able to find the look, find the kill. In behind this box. Salvo kills. Just
Sorry, let me go back. Let me see RQ. Could they have done anything different at all? Just keep your two here And then I think it's the same protocol as I said last time. If you lose middle control, I don't think you should care about this. I think this player should cheat towards B and just watch spawn. And then if there's any noise here, then he comes and helps. If they get timed on here, who cares? They're in A main. You know what I mean? This guy can still hold this angle. This guy can still hold this angle. And then once if there's noise A, these players rotating just gotta make sure that they clear all of this shit properly and don't just run in like idiots. This would be especially true if they didn't have a B line at all. But I think it's less egregious because they got like a bit of space on B long. But I think teams fuck up this. They have a whole player the entire round watching this little fucking thing when they have A main control. It makes no sense. Cheat the rotation. Watch this. Once they start execing, he can come out and trade frag the Astra. It's like in this very second right now, Sova would be already coming out to here and be able to shoot people. Would he get kills? Probably. He probably would have killed people. He probably would have killed Euro.
Able to find the lurk, so clears out Meteor.
30 seconds.
Maybe Astra fully leaves site and plays for retake since 5v4. I think that it's valid. Like Chamber has a line on Belong. The other option would be for the Astra to come this way right now. Like if this was 2 players and then they had 3 here, if I'm this Astra, I would position myself over here and watch this way. And then if they came B long, we just fight them B long and just start ourselves off. If they come out B link, then I try and just maintain B long control with the chamber. I don't think playing for retake is. I mean, you could have chamber hit solo and go for retake. It's a tiny little choke point. I think it's fine for him to play off of it. He has a star here. He's unlucky that the guy's done a fucking flash that nobody in the history of Valorant's ever thrown before and got any value from. I think that the Sova should have treated rotation.
Clean execute here, but she's already rolling over.
Full flash connecting. Buzz. Did he catch a glimpse?
Wouldn't that allow attackers easy access to heaven? Huh? I don't know how. How do they get heaven? If Astra was also main. If you're an attacker that thinks that you can walk this way up to heaven, you are the ballsiest team I've ever met. Like, there's no way just because you got an Astra playing here that they're gonna immediately go up into heaven. And even if they do, you can just re-clear it with 3 people.
Just gonna have to get a clean execute here, but she's already rolling over.
Full flash. This map having to be used in the first half.
Well, like they're kind of off the stage, but on the stage, kind of.
How this chamber can...
It's because of slated to the and they went around.
I mean, it's
operator.
possible,
Like,
but it's not something I care about.
Try the middle of the map. They're not, they don't have a traditional sentinel, so B Link has been pretty weak, and we haven't explored that yet. I bet we can get in there and sneak underneath this operator's nose.
This time another attempt at a thrifty here as they're just going to be piling in. Crazy guy in range. Will find the one, push the corner. Monyet takes out Izu. Crazy guy with a
Decent fight from RRQ. I don't know why on an anti-eco that T1 are like forcing this, but
Underneath this operator's nose.
Another attempt at a thrifty here as they're just going to be piling in.
yeah. But if team have the understanding of Yoru today during Teo meta, will everybody be running Teo Yoru comp on almost every map?
Crazy guy in range.
Yes. Yes. It's... Yeah. I mean... Pretty much. I mean, there's some teams who would still run Neon,
Offers up a stun. Suddenly it's just
and some might run Waylay.
1v3
But you wouldn't see Raze and Jet and shit.
Wells thrown
Unless you're just like, you've got like a really incompetent duelist.
5 headhunter bullets. Stacks at 65. Won't get the spot out. Jim is way
To be able to maybe
happen. They will just look to play this
By
together.
Breach. Breach with Teo was good. I started like on Lotus specifically, I don't think I would have ran the Breach with the Teo. And so I started thinking a lot more about how you could maybe do the Recon plus Teo. And I think that, was it DRX that ran quite a good Recon Teo? I think DRX ran quite a good Recon Teo across quite a few maps. I didn't like, there were some teams that were running Sky Teo, which I really hated. I didn't like that at all. I think both of these were valid.
Okay, we don't need to commit the ults yet. We've got numbers on our side. See if Stacks can work some of that classic.
Depended on the map.
Stacks
Like
match.
Fracture, I'm running Breach Teo.
Just the one weapon able to be recovered, so the other two players still weak in the weaponry, but turns over, finds the first. Standing ahead. Okay, so clear. Now we're gonna numbers bigger. Dodge hit the friends.
keep back and play from Crazy Guy. Cushy following up behind it, so Team 1 just opt to challenge the weaker bot. Want to give them too many more rounds. Now they're gonna have that out. Now they're gonna have that out. And
Did you check the Spike Talk video? I actually did. I don't usually watch other podcasts and stuff, but I did watch a little bit. I think mostly because I wanted to hear about the drama, but I don't know. I'm not really a drama-pilled kind of person. I don't really care that much. But yeah, I watched a little bit.
carried over, but you have a couple of your
Thank
own
you,
as Team 1.
Ayush.
Considering
Ayush, yes. Thank you very much. I appreciate the sub.
Maybe a read from Munchkin. Wanting
On
go
what?
towards his
You see Giant X shit the bad? Yeah, I did. I mean, I'm gonna have to. I said the West Side stuff was spicy. Basically, Giant X are trying to figure out how to play this meta, and they just don't know what to do. So they basically just gone, fuck it, West Side play Yoru, which I don't know. Like, if it doesn't work stage 1 and we don't see nerfs in the meta, and they obviously come out and lose this badly, then obviously they're gonna have to think very hard and deeply. I mean, Aura's gone 19 for 44, and -7. Like, yeah.
They have no one.
Yeah.
Just gut feeling.
I mean, sometimes with Munchkin, that's really what it comes down to.
Flickless Cypher was kind of cooking.
Maybe just not seeing the op holding the angle.
I think the problem with Flickless is he's so good on Viper, right? He's so good on Viper. I wonder if they're overcooking in some respects. On some maps. On some maps, probably not. I don't know.
Towards B main.
Spot out on the one. Full disconnect away. On yet. Minor damage suffered. RQ needing to get everybody into position. Armageddon will go forward, clears out Secret, allows them to scale forward. Izu just flushed against the wall, dodging out of these salvos, but he's going to be vulnerable from behind. Does get picked off by Moniette, but not before.
Flicker's so good on Viper, but I can't play anywhere near as good without flashes. Yeah, I think there's roster problems. I'm not gonna lie. If they can't adapt, there are some serious roster problems. I would say the lack of flexibility in the team is starting to hurt them very badly. Well, there is some flexibility, but the lack of like flexibility that matters.
Diffuser killed the retap. The time is gone. They just couldn't get it to half. Team Ace and another look.
and even playing very safe, very far back. Out.
Surely you don't want to learn Yoru now. I mean, the irony is, if it gets nerfed, which I don't think it will at this point, I'm not certain it will. It will be funny though if it does. But I mean, at the very least, like you're getting reps on playing double duelist, and double duelist will still be strong, even if Yoru is nerfed.
Ping out. Smoke on, right
If
on
Yoru
the
and
jump.
Waylay get nerfed, it will still be alright.
Yeah,
But
unwise to it.
you're probably not playing Yoru or Waylay.
Took a ton of damage.
At that point, it might be better to not play it.
They're trying to sell it's a fake. They made a bunch of footsteps the other way.
They saw it as a fake.
Took a ton of damage.
Just Buzz made it to feel like a fake. Mr. Meteor, do you really need to push? Okay, I mean, a consolation round for RQ. Decent T side though. I said this to Sliggy before kickoff started. I said to Sliggy, I hope that they keep Yoru at the same place it was until like after stage 1, and then just gut Yoru completely, and then we get the second half of the year differently. I think the problem is though is that Neon's probably still a little bit too strong, and Waylay is definitely too strong, and nerfing the Yoru alone actually isn't enough. Hello, okay, Chicolat. I want double duelist to play unplayable. It's always going to be playable. I feel like in a way, like double duelist will always be playable unless they make something else broken. And at that point, you're still going to see paper X from double duelist. So like, you're still going to get double duelist teams. How likely do you think Riot reverses the initiate signature cooldown back to 40 seconds after stage 2? They won't. They won't reverse it. They will probably need a year of data at least to make a reversal on that big. I'd love to be in the dev talks over that stuff about how the game has changed and what their view is on it. Like not in a like sincerely, like not in a told you so, this is terrible way, but in a like I truly am interested by the ways they think about stuff. I think they usually make really good decisions and have interesting analysis on things, but I think this was just a big mess. Like every time, like I've only talked to devs once, like formally, but at any time, like obviously for broadcast reasons, I obviously get information that you guys aren't, you know, I get either information before you or I get information that you guys don't get. And the reasonings for things often on the non-dev side are usually backed up extremely well and rational and, you know, in a way that's like, oh, I was really angry about this thing, but they explained it to me and it kind of makes sense what they're saying. Like even if it is ludicrous, what you know, even if I thought it was ludicrous. So yeah. Need to get in contact with FNS and Tens. Don't get me started. Don't get me started. It's annoying because I don't want to be someone who the devs thinks is just one of those annoying people. If I was to be one of those people, because I think I'm really reasonable, and like when I'm in like a formal capacity like that, I feel like I'm like actually quite useful, and I actually respect their work. But it's just really I'm not gonna lie. I'm so frustrated with some of the takes from pros saying that like there's too much util. When they talked about when people were saying cut refresh util, I was like, have you lost your mind? I do know Alice, yeah. I didn't call FNS and Tens annoying. I don't enjoy some of their takes they had on Valorant's overall meta though. You remind me of him heavily. That's both a compliment and an insult, so I appreciate it.
Wow. A lot of confidence for Izu. That's a
I was called neurodivergent yesterday, and you just called me LS. So I get what you guys are trying to say at this point.
To start it off. Of course, you've got this chamber. Headhunter bullets. Try to make a go of this.
LS is a League of Legends streamer who talks about the strategic side of Valorant, of League of Legends. To me, actually, like my take is that like, to me, Anders is more LS than me. Anders is more the LS than I am. Like they both use like trading card game theory and stuff and apply it to their respective games and think about games in that kind of way. And both have very strong opinions on their stuff that often is counterintuitive to the general opinion and very min-maxy and willing to argue their position to death, you know? I think I maybe come across like that a little bit, but I'm probably a little bit more in the middle. I enjoy listening to LS though. I enjoy listening to LS. But I'm probably like between, probably between Kjo and LS. Like if there was a scale and like a nerdy scale and LS is like over here and Kjo is like here, I think I'm probably between the two, you know? I don't think that I'm quite LS. Why is Izu so highly rated? Is it because his aim? You mean like literally rated, or are you asking why is he playing so well? The answer, as I've watched half a map so far, I don't know. His Euro stats are unbelievable. I don't know. I guess his mechanics must be pretty good. I'm new to the Valor scene. I mean, I'd watch Anders' content if you're new. And have any enjoyment for LS. Why are teams not running solo Yoru? Because double duelist is easy and very good.
Hunter out of the pistol round is massive.
Yep, you know that there's maybe going to be one additional sheriff on the other side.
It's interesting that he's playing so aggressive. I mean, fucking Izu's just got full control. Jemkin's just being shit on again. Now T1 know that there's this deep information, but they only got 45 seconds left. They're RQ, sorry. I mean, they're fucked. They're fucked. I say they're fucked, but no one's moved. This is kind of bad, but
they're being a little bit slow about it. So T1 guessing.
30 seconds remaining. He's now starting to back away.
30 seconds left.
That gate crash set up to make a swift exit. So we'll just play this out a little bit more patiently. Slides back.
Yeah, I mean, RQ actually get away with stuff here a little bit. Fair enough.
Get the spike, put him down.
Izu. Love the position he takes. And the timing. He barely gets around that corner. And then he's hidden in a spot where the recon dart doesn't hit him because of the fast lane that, you know, Monyet creates. Most Neon creates.
When you play at a tournament, you get a tournament realm account given to you by Riot for the tournament, and it has everything unlocked. It's the same stuff as when you play on stage. Everything's unlocked, but only on the tournament realm, not in ranked. But your ranked account might also have shit unlocked too. I can't remember. As in your ranked account at the new region. Like obviously, if you're an EMEA player, they don't give you a EMEA account if you're playing in EMEA at a tournament. Can you theoretically use unreleased skins? I don't think so. How many hours do you need to give Zeta, or is it fixed time weekly? I'm contracted for a certain amount of hours that I'm not going to say out loud. but it's a very few amount of hours per week.
Oh man. Oh, nice little play from Manya, but I mean, the time was just so low that T1 just knows that they can just rush him down because he has to stick. T1, I think even a smoke there from Munch him down because he.
13-7-1. Catching up alongside Buzz, who once again is going to be having a judge in hand.
Mada used a tournament realm account to give himself gifts. I'm not gonna lie to you, I know that NRG pay quite well, and so it's like the fact that an NRG player needs to needs to do that is kind of mental. It's very stupid. It's very stupid. It's like you're just obviously gonna get caught. You know what I mean?
Playing in close at A main.
But I guess it's easier to ask for forgiveness in those situations. Oh, rank stream. The rank stream thing is just because they get unlocked ranked accounts for playing at different events.
Spencer ready, an orb grabbed up. He'll just be having a judge in hand.
Unless you play full retake B eco. They just have read, I guess.
Playing in close at A main. In that direction, cheating around the side, but does get spotted. Realize, well, not quite, but re-wrap.
I mean, T1 look like they know they've won already. It doesn't look like they're playing particularly disciplined.
Spam through. Down there, so spike planted. Reveal onto one. Be able to find Jemkin at the same time on the approach from main, but Izu finding the first. Crazy guy going to be taken down. Munchkin watching into main. Finds the kill on the Jemkin. Now it's just going to be classic draw. There's a line.
Little shaky here in some ways for T1, but
How much do I know about UCAM? I can answer that because I do know quite a bit, so I'll talk to you about them. Okay, so Bisq is when SOK before SOK coached Fnatic in 2023 with me. SOK coached a team with Bisq as their star player. Bisq has been a star player duelist for quite a while. In KPI is the team that SOK used to coach before he joined Fnatic, and I knew Bisq was pretty good back then. 2022. Bold was on was it I can't remember the name of the team. The team that beat Fnatic in 2021 for us to kick 2 players and get Durka and Magnum with Baddie G. Olizera's been hanging around tier 2 for the last couple of years, a good Sentinel player. Jesse's been around since the beginning of time. I wanted to trial him in 2022, but for some reason he didn't, and I think it was his decision, which was strange. Famzy I tried to get as a substitute at one point. We needed a substitute for Durka for something, and I tried to get him, but he was 17. So a bunch of players that have a lot of history and pretty decent. Yeah. I don't suspect this team will like win tier 2, but they have capabilities.
well, that ends well, I suppose. Losing that judge scares the hell out of me. Stacks just
Yeah, Famzy played on Gen X for a split. Yeah, he was okay, I think.
One on the defuse, one watching the ramp. He can just hold. He knows exactly where that Sova sent that drone from. Nothing else he needs to do but hold that angle.
Setting up. B shop. B shop, guys. On main, guys. On main. Check come B before B.
Deep line.
First, you guys walk A, guys. You guys walk A.
So they can hear the neon here, so they're probably gonna send the drone to go clear to make sure.
Okay.
They're gonna get A main and probably B main here. T1 playing a little bit like it's almost like they're trolling, but they got a bonus round, so I'm not gonna read into it too much, but it's almost just like a troll setup almost.
We'll say a nice little hello and force him up sight.
T1 just don't respect B long at all. Be interesting to see if they play other pro games, like how much they just don't respect teams who go clear B. Whereas on the flip side, when T1 actually fucking abuse B on their attack side, you know.
Especially with a star at the front.
Deep lane with a Spectre. I mean, it's good info.
Pop of the one. Considering a sprint across, it would seem there was Moniette.
They should have switched guns though, shouldn't they? Shouldn't they just given Izu the fucking outlaw?
Bit of damage on the way through, but manages to work his way
It's a nice shot.
with that vandal, able to find Meteor. Munchkin, however,
Nice shot again.
delivers a kill.
Is that angle just the easiest angle to get kills in the world?
Chaotic here on the site. He's a jump.
Okay. Anti-bonus round.
I think a little bit more flexibility, a little bit of space to play.
This is the least exciting thing I've seen from T1 so far. Just a bit boring. Like solo B, heavy A, but with no like baits up. They can't really take aim with these agents. Neon's just there. It doesn't really seem well thought out. It doesn't seem like a
if they so choose.
great sub to me.
Scaling so fast up towards B, and Meteor's just gonna
Like they lose to B, and because just be the thing that they just don't respect hierarchy to go B from the anti-strat, and so just want to keep the heavy A maybe. They do have Euro ult for retake, but it's not exactly enough, I don't think. What does Stacks bring to a team? I think having someone else in the team who is an experienced IGL, given the fact that Munchkin likes to do a lot of lurking, and Stacks is one of the most like just he probably underfrags at this point. But ultimately, do you need more fraggers in a team? Like the way I see a team like this is Munchkin frags. So you're allowed the support player. You're allowed the support. If your IGL can frag, I think you're allowed the support player. I think if this project fails, Stacks is the first player you look at though. Like I don't think that being the glue guy and doing the dirty work is enough if your team is failing. If your team's doing well, then of course it looks like decent. I don't think Stacks is another Lakia. I'm gonna say mean here, but I think Stacks is quite a bit better than Lakia. And I think Stacks having that experience as an IGL and a leader in the team probably is giving more. I think I have a bit of a higher respect for Stacks' abilities. Yeah.
They're just saying, well, if they go A, we want to be quick to rotate there, but if they go B, you have that dimensional drift.
In terms of like fragging IGL and then having a support player, he plays that same kind of role. I just think Stacks is good.
Right back around.
I just think Stacks is pretty good. If the team starts failing, then he's the first person you look at, though. Strong QT and sassy comparison to Munchkin and Stacks. Pretty similar. Pretty similar. I think, yeah. Bane for Stacks would be a true super team. Is Bane that good? Is Bane actually that good? Why is this a super team? Why do people think Bane is some like super team player? He's not a super team kind of guy. To me, I saw Bane is kind of almost like Stacks in a way.
Dragged across behind the box, plant coming through. T1 just trying to get everybody in position to try to go for a retake. No flanks here. Full commitment forward towards this site for RQ, and the dimensional drift is going to look to try to suss that out.
What's the verdict so far? I think T1 are pretty good. I think that it might not be like perfect macro pro, but it's probably one of the better pro attack sides I've seen for a while. In terms of like, yeah, I think this is the worst round of defense I've seen them play so far, but like overall, I think they kind of get it. They're good for a team still running non-chamber sentences. Yeah, we can't have everything, but like, I think beyond like if I was to just give the big picture takeaways, like I think their pro is good enough to win a trophy. You know what I mean? Like I think it's pretty good, unless I'm just so distorted by EMEA's terrible pro that like I have a completely different reference point. I think their pro's pretty good. It's not like to the point where, you know, if you investigate the details on this, I'm sure you'll be annoyed by a lot of stuff. But like, from a takeaway perspective, I'm like, okay, like this is I. I'm not mad. I'm not mad. I think that's probably my litmus test. If I get upset watching rounds and have to pause and be like, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is clearly wrong, what the fuck are they doing? I've not really had to do that, you know what I mean? Like, I've not been like, this is egregious, this is egregious.
This is just huge again from Monyet.
What is the best thing to do when burnt out? Surely you or one of your players ever got burnt out? Bro, I was burnt out 24/7. The reality of being a coach and being burnt out is like, it doesn't matter to me, because like I never thought that my performance was like dropping, if that makes sense. Like, I'd rather be burnt out and still have to do the, you know, shit the next day. If the player's burnt out, then I don't want them to burn out, you know what I mean? Like, as a coach, I don't really care. Because ultimately, I don't need to be in the server getting headshots, so it doesn't really matter as much if I'm a bit tired. For players, one sec. For players, it's just a matter of just taking days off when you can. Fuck, I think my headset's gonna die. One sec, let me turn my light on as well. My headset's gonna die and I don't have a charger that's long enough. Yeah, if a player gets burned out, then it's about just taking rest and like giving more off days and stuff. Yeah.
Just give it your all every round. Nothing to hold.
I mean, 21-12-1. Monyet over twice as much as Jemkin at the moment.
He's running.
Been looking damn good. Now T1.
What kind of hours were you working at Global Tournament? Some globals I woke up late, but most globals I'd wake up like 9 or 10. And then basically, like, the way I'd see the day would be like, I'd wake up like 9 or 10, and then my day was not over until I got back into my bedroom. And so I'd get back into my bedroom probably at like 10, 11-ish. So 12-hour days were pretty common. It doesn't mean that literally all of my efforts were like, it didn't mean that like all of my efforts were coaching the entire 12 hours, but actually it's probably later. I'd probably get back into it 12 plus, to be honest. But like, you know, not every waking moment of this would be like active coaching. You know, I'd be having dinner and stuff, but proper rest periods were rare. And even when I was resting, it was almost like formal resting. It was like, we go to the gym or the sauna, like, and to me that was still kind of like in the vein of like, we're kind of together as a team and hanging out and shit. And it was like, it didn't feel like like, it didn't feel like I was going to the sauna by myself and just like, you know, fully decompressing. Although the sauna stuff was good, but I guess the gym more so was like, it still felt about like, it wasn't like I was like going off and exploring and having fun, you know what I mean? Like, and that was that would be, if there was a game the next day, that would change from like whatever time I woke up, and then whatever time, it would be 3 a.m. plus, to be honest. 2 a.m. plus, I guess, maybe. Like, I would be up most nights.
Pass the rifle over.
So you're never going to be head coach again. unless something drastically changes in my life or drastically changes with the conditions of coaching, then I don't suspect. At this very moment, I don't have any plans.
Still throwing a little spot out Munchkin there within the smoke.
Like, I think this year I'll possibly make just as much money as I would, or maybe more than I would if I had coached Fnatic in 2023. So, like, what's the point? You know what I mean? Like, yeah. And I still get to do, I still get enough of everything, and like, my goals in life have changed, like, at this point. Trophies, bro. I know what it feels like to win trophies at this point, and it doesn't give me the same satisfaction. It gives you satisfaction for about a day. There's a week buzz you have, but truly a day. And then you're just a normal human being again.
Opportunity there. Rotation in that direction, but that's kind of what T1 is hoping for. A lot of times when you have better weapons, you're going to think B is a good site because of your ability to use those long ranges to your advantage, but T1 was hoping.
I don't think I really have anything to prove anymore when it comes to that side of things.
That's exactly what Munchkin would be thinking, so we're going to go over to A.
What do you think Alex is getting paid? I'm not going to be telling you guys what fucking coaches are getting paid, am I? You fucking dweebs. You think I'm just going to give that out for free?
Maybe? Oh my god.
How much leverage did you have negotiating your contract after international wins? I'd never negotiate my contract after international wins because I was a head coach. I dropped from head coach. Fnatic gave me a pay rise. I wasn't happy with my pay at the start of 2023. We won lock-in, and then they did give me a pay rise after lock-in. At the end of the year, they probably paid me more as assistant coach than they would have anyone else, but I don't think it was like, I didn't make tons of money as assistant coach. I was, what I do now is a better system. Who do you talk to about pay rise? I mean, Colin and Patrick, the GM and CGO.
Could be costly. Meteor now starting to explore back around mid. Spots out anything with that sheriff.
What do you think of Solo Tail? I watched GMA Clash and if he did well on split against GX for that. What maps Solo Tail viable? I generally would just prefer not playing Solo Teo unless it's like a very specific comp with the idea of being like some kind of nuke everything space kind of comp or something. So in general, I would say I wouldn't advise it almost anywhere. Very exec heavy maps are probably where it's probably okay. But in general, like split, I'd prefer Fade. Fracture, I think Solo Tail could work. What's the general range for coach's pay? General range. For a head coach, you get paid. You can be paid the minimum. Like for a head coach, you're gonna get paid at least the minimum, which is at least what, like, is it like 4 to 5k euros per month? I don't know. Solitaire's pretty rough. You'd rather have recon at the moment because your zone denial is already covered by your driller spot. You'll always be redundant. Yeah. I mean, I probably wouldn't. I'd be very surprised if I came to a team and was like, let's run Solo Tail on this map. What is still wrong with Zeta? From kickoff, I think that some of the problems were the defense side. I think that they shifted their attack philosophy in a way that I was quite happy with. They wanted to play a very default-y style that I kind of very much argued against. And I think that they did quite a good job of just playing a bit more aggressive and all-in. On defense side, I think I'm going to try and get my pools in there a little bit more. There are some maps where they like literally would like, so for instance on Split, they eventually just played 4 stacking sites and retake the other side, which is obviously a pretty simple strategy that's not the best. But even when they were doing that, they were struggling to win duels against teams who were rushing them. And so they 4-stack a site into an enemy who was coming at them and wouldn't win the round. And so to me, that's a bit of a problem when it comes to like just raw firepower at times. And so I think that there's going to be a bit more of an active effort to try and figure out how to like get the players to just, you know, play the game a bit more or play off of each other a little bit better and stuff, you know. Because ultimately, what you're supposed to do at that point, if you stack a site and you lose it, like, kind of difficult.
We'll be able to
Hi, Mini. You'll appreciate this is a compliment. Would love a focus review without so much chat distractions. Your analysis is top tier, but most reviews end up 50% underrelated. The NS VOD was crazy. 2 hours in and 80% is philosophy. Bro, if teams play better Valorant, maybe I'll be more likely to pay attention. So
find one, but he's not going to be ready for Xpero on the
maybe that's a them issue.
A couple kills to be found here. Weapons
I'll be honest, I do struggle a little bit to lock in. Maybe that's the neurodivergent thing coming out again.
not going to be doing the most for
The claims might be true.
And
The issue is that I like interacting with chat, and the chat usually does give some stuff that's worth interacting with.
Continue running this
Do
back.
players get paid for off-season? Yes.
3 rounds in a row. 5 to go to tie it up.
Yeah, I'm curious if there's going to be a timeout call by T1, but gonna let it roll. I think this round, again, you're just gambling a bit here as T1, it looks like, to my eyes, just trying to be a little bit, again, catch your opponent off guard.
I mean, I do think that I need some rules though. Like at a certain point, they're right. Like, is me explaining the differences between Fade and Sova and Haven really that valuable for most people at this very second? Probably not. I probably lost about 70 viewers since I went on a detour, so I don't know. Do you think if you return as a head coach, would you still be good or struggle right now? I'd be very good. I'd be very good. I would not be struggling.
The site that you normally wouldn't with the close range guns, seeing if you can catch them a bit off guard, but I think you need to at least show a little bit towards.
My experience is that people are here to learn, specific content matters less. I do think that there's a dip in viewership when I go on tangents, usually. So I think that most people do want me to actually stay focused on the specific VOD, unfortunately.
Good with it, but to at least maybe.
Do you think Aspas deserves the glaze he gets?
Go.
Yes.
Operator in hand.
Yes. America's bias is always America's bias, though. The game is viewed through an American lens most of the time, and so
Drone's gonna see the turret.
there is always a bias towards players playing in that region, in my opinion, for the average viewer. Okay.
Does not seem to be cleared with a shock dart. Deeper nanos, one's cleared with a shock dart.
Yeah, they just don't. It's almost like T1 just don't respect RQ's B. I don't think they're not even. They don't care. I don't know. Izu's a bit scared. Like, he spent so long here. I think at this point, though, wouldn't it be kind of cool if Neon gets? Can't Neon just hold like a middle line to make sure that he can hold it longer? And then they don't respect B, so just stay the Neon here. And then if there's noise B long, then you just hard rotate. I hope this isn't their kind of default idea though, that like heavy A every single time. They will get abused a little bit against a better team. I'm a bit concerned that RQ are playing double drone and they don't seem to take much of the map. Like it's less that there's a lot. The amount of times you look at about a minute for T1, and they had a lot more map control. They had implied mid control, usually A main control, and then had also started exploring some B long. Like in a comp that's really hard to do that sometimes, was quite a few rounds. And they've got 2 drones to do what they want with, and we're seeing a chamber inserted by a minute and then nothing else on the map. They've re-cleared mid, but Yoru doesn't respect it even.
That seems to be part of RQ's plan. Try to pull that extra rotation.
Yeah, there's no respect here at all.
Izu's gonna have to go for the lurk play.
No, he swings out into the open. Kemkin quickly takes him down.
They did re-clear. I mean, they did have protocols and stuff. I just think that it's a bit slow. And I mean, ultimately, if T1 had just had this line, they don't know that T1 don't have this line. Like, T1 could just have this line right now. I just have 4A. They wouldn't have any clue. Hi, Brad.
That time it's that drone in mid that Izu's there for, and that actually makes them think that
It's not to do with the global team being 75% America. It's to do with the fact that, like, Reddit and the social media space feels very America heavy.
On the prowl, Izu here around the corner will be able to find that kill. Just picks up one, but nothing that RQ can't shrug off at this point.
Just going over why default long is better than hook combine is great. I think this is the problem though, is that I'm never going to be able to do a VOD review in that. I can never go to... It's going to be really hard for me to go to that simple a place without being asked. Because I don't want to have to explain every point I make. You know what I mean? If also in like a YouTube video, I would probably try and over-explain all my points. But when I'm naturally just talking, I'm not going to over-explain. I can't answer that question right now because people want me to lock in. Experienced teams like RQ can run double iddy. I think that he's being nice because a former coach of his is on RQ. To be honest. I think on this map, like, the double innie makes more sense because of, like, what I said. But I think that right now, RQ haven't done much with the double innie to make me think that they need to run it. Like, I don't think they've done anything that's made me think they're really experienced. If anything, if T1 played the way they did with double innie, they'd be, like, I think, way better.
Off the timeout call.
Like, we have double innie, we're not putting any pressure on the sides. We're insta-droning B-Link. Like, kind of, I mean, almost got killed, but... Now our server's recon... Okay, he does recon for info at least. But, I mean, ultimately, if this isn't cleared, then they're going to keep the stack. And then Strone's going to have to be used B long. Yeah, they just don't respect RQ here.
This is about to be a cluster potentially. And Armageddon also available. Crazy guy. Yep, you see it. Munchkin forward, got the switch in his hands. He's going to send it over towards Halls. Forces Munchkin forward. Buzz still situated.
What's Monyet doing, though? Like, he knows that's the only pocket that they can play in. A little bit. Bit of strange. What percentage would you give XRG a chance against NRG? 35, probably. Maybe 40. Maybe 40 because NRGs don't do very well against double duelist teams. Right now. Yeah, maybe 40.
There's no time.
I mean, that's fucking fast. It's kind of a cool opener. But then they're going into a B split. Reno. Like, I'll be honest, I don't think there's been a single team I've watched this year play double drone, and I thought that they played it particularly well. I think to get good efficiency out of double drone, you obviously need to know what part of the maps you should be doing stuff on. And this, to me, I understand there's intention here. The little fake on A, you got the drone coming out here, there's a drone coming in here for a B split. Like, there's intention here. I just don't think it's that good.
Well, Buzz hearing the footsteps.
He's no help.
No, he doesn't, but
Okay, Neon Solo got caught off, and then you're trying to go down B link. It's like, yeah,
looks like the answer
good luck.
is yes in the end, but still it's going to be good for 2.
I think we played it well at the end of G2. I meant in this meta, in 2026 meta kickoff, I haven't seen a single double drone team play well. I think that when I watched you guys at the end of 2025, especially I remember on Bind, the things I saw on Bind alone on defense, the defense stuff I saw with the double drone was like, I wish I was in America to do telestrators right now, because like the info cycling was like the best in the world probably at that point.
Cushy now, pressure on him to try to open up this side of the map.
But yeah, in this meta, I've not seen a single team run who have tried the double drone
Has the spot, and Munchkin
look amazing on attack
be
sides.
able to strike when least expected.
Even defense, to be honest, for some degree, I guess.
Set feels stripping his way back
I've not really
over.
seen it.
Hear the footsteps.
The way he's dialed in on the angle. Other towards
Good go. Right. Breeze is 13-2. I'll be interested to see how they how they just play Breeze. Just to see it. It's probably not going to be the most interesting if they win a 13-2, but I wonder what they do apart from shoot.
Got ourselves
We start off with a weird wall. And he gives some elbow prior. It's kind of funny how the retake wall used to be this one, which I don't like. I think this one might be better as a retake wall. Like, people used to do this all the time, this pink one. I guess it's because they try and hold it as well sometimes. Whereas this one's quite obviously you're not going to be holding the site with this, but I don't know if it's necessary.
really, really good chance to get to Santiago.
They do have people...
Oh, Munchkin.
Is he going to push?
Looking to just clear out that drone. Does get
He is gonna
tagged, so
push.
Ability's still around back.
Did we recon start around?
Themselves a really,
Recon middle. Okay.
really good chance to get to Santiago. Oh, Munchkin.
Just clear out that drone. Does get
They're
tagged.
flooding
Ability's
in.
Still around back site. That's over towards the half wall, and Izu may be spotted as well. Just gonna push through this one. Oh, it's gonna be the recon to clear, and Izu unable to find a kill, but Munchkin blind. He'll still be able to line one up, so Munchkin can take.
If you play full retake, I guess they just didn't really want to be like having to be all back here and shit, I guess. I wanted to get something up close.
Get down to Jemkin. Get tagged at 45. Buzz.
I like this pressure though. If he gets this kill, never mind. If he got that kill, I think it's round over. Oh my god. I'm not gonna lie, but Lucky would never.
Cleans up Munchkin now to Stacks and Meteor to try to make a go of this as Stacks.
What are they doing though?
And Meteor to try to make
They've cleared, like, this is the kind of play you make if this was about to die. Like, if this died, then you gotta make a play like this. I don't really understand why they're doing it though.
cleans up Munchkin now to Stacks. No. Rescue the opening round.
At Cam fix the focus.
Into Stacks lately, but he has
Like
been
this,
a
Cam?
hero for T1 on some of these pistol rounds. This is that Stacks we've know and love. A great setup here for a crucial fight on the backside for Crazy Guy to happen. That's a backbreaker for RRQ. That's hard to stomach. Win. That's a backbreaker for RRQ. That's
Why is there no stars being placed?
hard to stomach.
Why is there no stars? And why is there no wall? What's going on? We've not thrown a wall.
Drone forward, Buzz.
Why are we saving a wall?
They're coming in. Buzz just chasing in on a timing. Finds the headshot. So over.
Stack.
Just like keeps himself alive. 4-0 start for
I try to do a bit of everything. A main pressure, mid, and B.
Stacks Buzz once again considering going for this peak. Might just be a similar play.
I'm surprised this player just doesn't just play here, though. I guess they're more worried about a B rush though. But if I had a player walk down middle, I think I'd rather have someone just escort a little bit.
As the drone's going to come out. Needs to check over toward the side. Smoke's flying. Did it spot the jet? Clone will be cleared. Turns the flash. Continuing to face forward. Goes up into the smoke.
Yeah, I mean,
needs to check considering going for this peak.
they've lost A main control and they're continuing to play close, even though they've got info that there's nobody going this way. If you know this is clear and they can only be here, I think my instincts as a player would be to just play to get out and play for more like passive angles. I don't know why we want a hard fight here.
This peak might just be a similar play as the drone's going to come out. Needs to check over towards the side, but smoke's flying. Did it spot the jet?
Like, I would be dashing out right now over here. And I wouldn't be running through as a server there. A little bit like bonus round shenanigans, but they have guns. It's weird.
Through the wall, which will fall. Gonna be
Great that, but and a Munchkin with just a stinger though. So the money here precarious for a lot of players, but to the buy rounds. Munchkin with just a stinger though. So the money here precarious for a lot of players, but 3 players in our RQ going to be sitting.
See, we're not really doing anything. Is our whole game plan just stick people close to mains?
Matter of T1 here if they can get this round.
Drone through middle, maybe? No? I might skip this map. I might skip this map.
Hold it, defuse the half, pass it over, take your pick. Stacks or Meteor both going to be first bot.
Let's stop holding the proper.
Izu is great at it. So pit available now for Xpharo, but get in, get the plant going. Still the dimensional drift for Izu to try to counteract.
It's just play duelist close to main choke.
Some damage through. Killing him on yet, but cannot find Jemkin.
Seeing Munchkin do a little push arena. I don't mind this.
Going a little bit wide as he's now perched up on the bridge. The pit going to be invested. However, he's still there. Pushing goes to the peak. He ends up falling, and Izu's just doing it again. Meteor's already found him.
Getting a little stuck in the back of that pit, and Meteor knows it.
Okay, mid fight now. So they've shut down A main twice. Well, they've shut down basically all the A pressure. So they know now that RQ are not going to go there again. So shift is eco though, but kind of correct read. Pushing through a Viper orb on anti-eco is mad. His Viper wall isn't the best for the formation they have. Like the one that goes down a bit more like that way, I think would help this whole shenanigans. And the star placements aren't very exciting.
About to turn around and hit the jackpot potentially as they go jumping up into nest. Eyes still on elbow. Stacks about to get caught. Meteor now well aware that they've been outside. Munchkin will similarly get picked apart. Cloudburst down. He's waiting for an angle, but the double Cloudburst actually keeps him covered. I don't think Maniet even realizes this at all. But now he pushes forward. He finds Izu, and Meteor's patience has maybe just cost him completely. Time's drawn for Buzz, and what a thrifty this would be for R.
How did this just turn around so fast? Oh. Stacks is just being a noob. I think Stacks should be pulling back to here and just droning out heaven, to be honest. Although he oh, it's because Meteor's kind of baiting him in a little bit. Yeah, it looks weird. Meteor's kind of baited him in.
Meteor now well aware that they've been outdone as Munchkin will similarly get picked apart. Outburst down. He's waiting for an angle, but
Meteor's been fucked.
realizes this at all.
Just a little bit of lack of discipline.
Not in that elbow position. Aziz Nest, maybe had he would have been able to find both those players dialed in on that
3 stars. 3 stars.
elbow position. Azizu, maybe had he would have been able to find both those players dialed in on that elbow position. Over towards
Was that recon again?
had he would have been able to find both those players dialed in on that elbow position.
No.
Azizu, walkabout down into
What?
mid.
What are they doing?
Dialed in on that elbow position. Azizu. Walkabout.
They've used an orb and a smoke. And they're just like, fuck it, with dry contact through a Viper wall. Yeah, I might skip Areno. Skip Areno. If this person pushes out. Oh yeah, he does. Nice. There's some fundamental protocols I feel like they understand. The push-outs have been there. Albeit very easy decisions to be making at those points in the round.
Growth from this guy, as well as his flexibility. Not that he's been really flexed at all. He's widely been stuck to Yor because he's just so damn clean of it.
Anti-ecos have been dreadful though. Yeah, I'm gonna skip to next map. I don't. It's a bit of a smash, and I don't really see them playing anything interesting. Oh Jesus Christ, what's going on here? T1 go double drone on this map. God almighty. Meteor's playing Waylay. How many maps he playing? He's just playing Waylay on Abyss? This map might be more of the same. Double drone. I've not been very impressed with double drone team so far. Let's see if Abyss is any different. The Abyss is mud. What are we talking about? Who's on good? Who's on good Utah? QOR, and Sad. Breeze. I'll take a look at it at some point.
2026 season.
Sweep the more defender side. Here, it's got to start now.
I'm not really that finicky. Like I know how do I explain this? I would like to see better Yuto, but I'm not as finicky about it, if you know what I mean. Like I think ultimately
in that regard.
Yeah.
like T1's pro, like maybe they don't have everything fully solved, but if I come away from the VOD feeling like okay, they kind of get it, they have a plan, I'm more happy about that, if that makes sense. Breeze was boring, but it looked like they both had bad Jutsu and didn't really have a clear vision. But I will check it out. The 3-way orb at A is anyone to get through because a fun way to change the attack curve. You mean not seeing it? I did see I remember one stream, Anders, you were talking about a pro defense wall, and I don't know if it was the one that you were talking about for Patreon, because I saw the Patreon thing. But like when you said there's a wall on defense, I wish teams used more. I remember the one that you threw on Patreon was the one that I suspected it might be, if that makes sense. I was like, this looks like an Anders kind of wall. I think it could be this kind of wall. It's that one, yeah. It's funny. I remember. I should have sent it to you. I should have sent it to you. Like, is this the thing you're thinking about? Because I think this looks like a. It looks like a U wall. I think the difference was there was a few little variations. I remember because I was. I can't remember how yours exactly is. I remember thinking it could be like. I remember being like, I wonder if it's like where you throw it from. But I was thinking, it's definitely going to be some nonsense around, you know. Some nonsense around here. There's nothing around here that's like, I think everyone's throwing walls around here that like, there might be micro differences, but I think you kind of, there's not really much more you can do. So I was like, it must be something around the other side of the map.
On the bait. MTA site. Meteor's still going to be good for a kill. Crazy guy continuing to have a rough go of it on this Astra, but Meteor boxed in. Could end up being a trade back as Sparrow here in mid now.
B-link to vent one. Yeah. Alright, T1 attack side. Double drone. Instantly we see a fake because they have 2 drones. Well, they don't have 2 drones this round. They're just gonna fake anyway. I quite like how the way they're on this map is becoming a fucking pain in the ass. Where like if you play retake on a site or play soft on a site and a way they dashes in, it's like that's what BPL are kind of exploiting right now. It's like if Meteor had actually dashed somewhere like good here and saw this site was free, we can do it. Like we have a free site, but he's dashed somewhere kind of shit, and so we can't be sure. But BBR are just doing this thing where they're just dashing to sites with a solo player and just see if it's free. And I think it's catching a lot of teams off. I mean, this is enough pressure, obviously, for a fucking full another free site, but the Waylay is so oppressive, man.
Meteor boxed in. Could end up being a trade back as Sparrow here in mid now taken down. You hear the plant coming through. RRQ, get the bad news. Still need to try to find Meteor. Back over onto that B side of the map, pushing in towards.
When teams realize they won't that playstyle get hard punished, how do you hard punish? How do you hard punish it? Yeah. Like, you can't really hard punish it. Like, the only way you could do it is if you know the specific pathings the Waylay's taking every single entry, and you're trying to catch them. I don't know. This and a blunt. It's a reasonable take, I think. Reasonable.
Be right back. So much post plant util here. Shock darts and the salvos.
What if you play aggro on the opposite side they dash on? You play aggro here, you have 3 people shooting you, and you've got a freebie site. You've still given them a freebie site. You know what I mean? Like, it's obviously there's going to be ways to, like, think about playing around it, but ultimately it's still too powerful. Like, what other agent in the game can dive into a site and see if it's free? Isn't cannabis heavily regulated in the UK? No, it's illegal, but if you're on the street smoking and a police officer saw you, they would just tell you to stop. You know what I mean? They're not going to ever do anything.
Out from tower, able to find the kill. The first salvo going to be sent in as Izu holds from that right-hand side and will deliver to T. Again,
winning in literally every aspect possible. It's back the other way. And RQ has to bite on it with how deep Meteor got.
Recon flash.
Looking for that aggressive stack. Using Izu's utility. It's weird.
A bit of how many roles he is.
That's all info.
His flexibility.
I like watching Jogamo last year do this at Champs a lot. All the info TPs. They're kind of overthinking it. They're like, info TP, maybe they've heard it and then they're going to go B. So, like, let's stack A. I appreciate that level of thinking. And
clustered on the correct side of the map. That being said, some footsteps.
We don't know what's going on, but probably a very easy anti-eco here. Yeah, the flank gets caught and they just fucking push. Why are teams playing less anti and more smokes or initiator? I wouldn't say more teams are playing more smokes or initiator. Well, the way I would tell the story if I was on broadcast would be that like the Sentinel role's been nerfed and for whatever reason people don't play Chamber or Veto enough. I played not enough. And so Viper is basically a pseudo like Senti. And so I would just see it more like people just go to Viper a bit more. Yeah. And the map pool right now, I think that Viper is usually strong on almost every single map, but like the map pool right now makes it easy for teams to make that decision. Like a lot of the maps are just very obviously Viper maps. Do you think Vita should be played more, used more? If teams are good with it, yes, but at the moment, not many teams are very good with it. So I would say that most teams should be exploring Chamber a lot more, because Chamber is a lot easier to use. Like I'm not gonna pretend to sit here and know that I know the ins and outs of playing Vito. Like when I have ideas, like I feel like I need a bit more practice time to kind of theorize stuff. And obviously, right now, I'm not on a team where I can just brute force my way and be like, "Hey, we're playing Vito every map." You know what I mean? I think Chamber is a little bit easier to think about.
I think you just... that's one of those ones where you just say, oh, we didn't get the good read.
Is your opinion G is good at Vito? They might be getting value out of Vito, but they're not doing... From what I've seen, I don't think they do any of the interesting aggressive interceptors that PaperX or G2 are doing. Or even Vitality, even though Vitality were doing it with solo weird shit.
See what they have to say.
I think at this point, yeah, double Judas, Chamber, Astra, Sova. I'm surprised we don't see it more. I understand why teams want to play Cypher, but I think at this point it's just... Yeah, I think it is a great meta call. To just throw it out there, double Judas Chamber, right now, would kind of catch people a little bit, I think. Yeah, Leaf Chamber with Baby Bay and Joker Judas would be kind of strong. Who's about Cypher Corner Alpha? I don't think either were particularly... It wasn't... I think they both admit it's not an agent that they're either of them love. I think... I don't really have an opinion, to be honest. I think Kron's the better Viper. Alpha would be the better Killjoy. Alpha could still play a Viper though. It's just I think I just really rate Kron's Viper quite a lot. Gemkin has just been getting shit on a lot when I've been watching. Just a full B exec. What is the defense's plan? Anti-bonus plan. Yoru Waylay B, Server A. Double smoke. We got Brim, Astra. So even though we're playing extremely weak on A, we're still gonna lose our B.
See what
We're playing Euro TP like a chamber. Okay.
they have to say.
Just insta one tap. Yeah.
In mid, Munchkin on the lurk, able to intercept Cushy, and now it's a ticking time bomb. These players trying to work their way forward into the site. Would just be a matter of time.
I think you would play Leaf
for Munchkin
Chamber.
to strike, but
It
won't
seems
be
like Leaf, like
necessary.
from what he says publicly and the way that they play comps,
Gets a
it seems
ball.
Leaf has a problem playing Chamber though. Like Leaf clearly doesn't like Chamber.
Over the saturate initially from Monyet. You know, Buzz gets that huge opener on the Jemkin who's holding top box.
But Leaf is also extremely good at Viper, so it's like
An
it's
unexpected angle on them. Buzz.
whatever. It would be kind of cool though if they did run it.
Cool, calm, and collected.
Yeah, he's just along for the ride.
It's only Buzz and Meteor, the two that have died so far.
What maps is Veto? What maps Veto is better than Chamber? Honestly, I think Anna's probably better answering that question. He's probably done a lot more work thinking about Veto than I have. I would guess it'll be on maps where I don't initially think Chamber is an amazing agent. Like, I don't think Chamber is particularly good on Split, for instance. So I would imagine in that instance maybe Veto's better. But
On T1, everybody else.
DL anti-dive type shit. Oh, Barry's not was the other theoretical counter to this deadlift anti-dive.
Find KDAs as they're not taking any chances. They know they gave up a couple thrifties earlier on. And that dimensional drift is going to be spotting out a ton. Salva's a fly. It looks like T1 still.
I think that look would be good. I think if you had some, if I had like Magnum in my team and just fed him VODs of other teams, I think it would be like I would trust him quite a lot to build subs.
Willing to play into this as Ping will get the reveal. Saturate not going to be catching anybody in that corner, but Meteor spotting out.
I mean, it's just anti-eco here.
Things are just going your way. You challenge the stack. You see it. You know it.
You have more round wins than they have kills.
That's correct. That's not good for RRQ.
No, it is not. The guy
Picking up Starbucks on the way to work there. Okay, thanks. Bye. And now Meteor's got his ult. I mean, you have so much ability to gather info. Again, something that T1...
Teams love this star configuration just to go out here. I think if you see these stars, you just know what's going to happen, right?
He seems to thrive off of, and they're...
RQ's defense is looking a bit sus. I'm not going to lie. A bit sus.
Oh my goodness. RRQ is way on the wrong side of the map. I mean,
They've not used a single cross map TP, right?
T1 figures this out.
They
Should have a pretty
it doesn't. I don't see a clear vision for RQ.
option.
Like
Now, they're
I'm not
going to
seeing
check here because they're
a vision.
remembering
It's just
that
like we're gonna play for it. They're just playing for it because
still maybe
might as well. This map is fucking hard on defense. Not gonna lie, but it's like
assuming is Munchkin.
at least we're gonna push out. It's a bit late. So probably see some kind of retake from flank.
He is on anti-lurk duty all day, every day. With their usual lurker.
They don't even look at this, so they don't even use Waylay. Like the double drone is coming in, clears everything. The Waylay doesn't even need to use ult, can save it for post plant. If the flank starts coming in, they can just ult and push C2.
All day side of the map.
out on the walkway.
The only issue is they don't have a Senti, so like they are susceptible to a lot of. I think the game plan for RQ should probably be like this team doesn't have a Senti. Shouldn't they just be like doing a lot of like mid push out stuff?
For any kind of
Have the TP on one side of the map. Like maybe TP this side of the map, do a lot of pre-flanking.
that he could possibly get, but so far nothing found. Convergent paths available for Meteor. The back end of this.
They don't even go the long way. They're too late. This guy's already
Double flank. And around the back convergent paths goes through.
kind of a
Next
bad
piece
ult.
onto one. The pop plat.
It's kind of bad. I think they need to put a start. Then they need to like just if they just put a smoke here right now, they just win the round.
Sandix Pharaoh able to hold his own. Buzz gonna be taken down.
Waste of a
Back around
saturate.
the corner. Meteor Gets the brunt of that one. The chase in, the saturate fault coming through.
It's extremely poorly played by T1.
Cushy pushing forward, able to find a bit more.
It's like they're like they have complete flank control. They don't have complete flank control. They just need to go check. Just go check here, and then you can have 2 players playing around here, and then these 3 players can just chill site as they come in. You just ult them. I don't really understand why we need to both be extremely deep in a weird position watching flank, and then also push CT with 2 players. Like they're just inting. Seems like they're doing 2 ideas at once. Like I like the fact that these 2 are like the post plant players. We've got the server Astra who got the post plant, but it's very strange. Just a bit of an overcommitment, a bit of a misread. Maybe that push out stuff. Did the push out ever get spotted here? I don't think it did. I don't really understand what they're doing. Oh, okay. Okay.
Bushy just a bit better. There were no shock darts used here, which surprised me a little bit. I thought Izu might let loose with a couple of them, but just felt like they need to get it
Wait.
with the guns there.
Anders says go to his. I'm actually gonna do this because I'm curious what maps you think Vito over. Ba, 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 ba. Chamber Abyss, Vito Bind, Chamber Corrode, Vice Haven, Vito Pearl, Chamber Sunset, Vito Split. Yeah, Vito Split makes sense to me. Bind Vito. I quite like Chamber Unbind. Device I understand on Haven with this comp. A little bit of a different style. Pro Vito is... Yeah, yeah, okay, I understand that. Even though Chamber is probably pretty good on that map too. I get it. Yeah. I get it. In maps where you got double Judas, you're parachuting to Vito. How much higher you run now? That's classified. Ooh. That's, I think, if Astra didn't exist, it would be a very easy answer. I think because Astra exists for me, it's a slightly harder answer.
Looking for Munchkin. Well, he'll find him, and he'll retreat. Goes the other way. He's nearby, forcing that position. Meanwhile, Jemkin just lurked.
This buzz. See if RRQ can start bouncing back more. Like they need to get it done with the guns there. See if RRQ can start bouncing back more. But look at this buzz.
Monyet. Looking for Munchkin.
I agree if it's between the 2 of them every map. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like I don't know. Like I don't know how I feel about Harbor Viper or Harbor Astra.
Looking for Munchkin. Well, he'll find him. He'll retreat. Goes the other way.
I think on some maps you have to play Viper.
Forcing that position. Meanwhile, Jemkin just lurking forward here at A main. It's 1 charge away from having a dimensional drift available.
Portal closed.
B exit.
Time to jump. Here.
Maybe trying to just fake this towards B once again.
Probably on quite a few of them.
Get stacked up. And it looks like, yeah, they want to try to sell this. So Buzz is going to rotate back in. Another smoke, cycle down.
I think the solo Harbor is also going to be slightly underrated. Like if teams are running solo fucking Omen.
Creep in, Jemkin takes Meteor's head off. Critical kill.
Can spot out Crazy Guy. Crazy Guy's 1 tap to the Outlaw. A couple players are. But some patience being shown. After losing the Waylay, explore towards mid.
30 seconds left.
No, actually just cutting in towards window.
I think if I was like head coaching a weaker team, I could unironically see just solo Harbor on a lot of maps.
Playing this map, Working their way back over.
And just
T1
cheese.
on the peak into
Just
A
full
main,
cheese.
to realize it once again. Played around
Against
the
good teams, you end up getting a little bit abused, but
top mid, here's the footsteps. Double swing.
then at the same time, what am I even playing? I guess it would be like, am I running double duelist chamber? I guess just with Harbor. Like I would cheese teams with this, I think. If I was coaching like if I was head coaching like a weak team.
Collects two, looks for a little bit more, and nearly bites up more than he can chew, but he's still gonna be good for a third. Crazy guy now sussed out by
Whale. With some patience being shown. After losing the Waylay.
What's the rotations like for defense?
that position. Meanwhile,
So I saw there was some A main pressure. He left the clone, and then they're using the drone and the clone as a fake on A main.
by Xfaro. RQ for the moment. Now their forces in the right position.
Oh, he contacts dry.
They look to get 2 consecutive round wins.
Yeah, Buzz. Losing the Waylay. Explore.
They just play full retake B because they got 4v5.
Back over.
But they're so late. Like every time, it feels like they're doing something that I think Fnatic struggled with a lot on Abyss. It's like they'll play retake on a side of the map, but then they're so far away from the side of the map that actually is about to be planted on. It's a little bit dangerous. Like I think on this map, it's difficult. If you're gonna play full retake, you need to have a little bit more information than what they got. And then they're running backwards. It worked last time because T1 fucked up and just went aggressive. This time it might work because they're 5v4, but doesn't seem like a great idea.
Top mid, here's the footsteps. Double swing, lined up for him just about. Collects 2, looks for a little bit more, and nearly bites up more than he can chew.
Viper is still necessary on maps like Bind. I like Viper on Bind a lot, to the point where I would just almost never try and not play it.
It's a 2v3. Sure, you've got an orbital strike. I mean, suppose you could send it to Vizu. Pops the Hunter's Fury, but that's not.
Can you coach every Val coach so VCT Val gets better?
RQ have not been able to get any consecutive round wins since Pearl.
It's Munch. Their side of the. I mean, you think you get that opening kill. You think we got this, and Jemkin gets.
It's a 5v4 until Munchkin does this.
Yep.
I mean, a lot of my stuff with Zeta is technically supposed to be stuff like that, and I think I will. Maybe I'll talk about it at the end of the year at some point. They're definitely not. It's definitely not like. I don't know. Hey Deluxe, thank you. I will not tell Sliggy. It's.
What else can you do but take the early
It's
time out?
yeah. I don't explain it. It's like leadership side of stuff is very easy to like talk about and give advice. Strategic side is a bit more difficult because you're not on the same page or come from the same place, if that makes sense. Like, I've had 5 years to develop certain ideas or like have a place I think about Valorant, or not a place, like a almost like a Valorant language, right? Like my Valorant language is probably pretty similar to someone like Anders because we work together and because, like, you know, we both have certain ways of thinking, and so conversation with him will go a very different way than a conversation with someone who I'm not so familiar with. So it's a little bit harder on that side to coach, if that makes sense. There are some ways of thinking for most teams and players that end up going into like, I know the reasons why teams and players usually do the things they do, and that's usually you end up in those conversations where it's like, you know, like playing Omen every map. It's like, I don't think this is very good, but I know why they do it, and I know if I suggested not to, like, what the response would be, if that makes sense. But it's like almost like a new idea almost if you're going to present that idea to a team who's never thought about not doing it. And so it requires to like plant that seed and, you know, I don't know.
Just has to rely on T1 making a bad map read now. You have no map control here. You have literally zero. Nope.
Gapping around the
Map. Would have been some mid-pressing, maybe that the adjustment from RRQ would have been some mid-pressure. And now you gained a lot of ability to work the map.
spotted one Munchkin, seeing a bit as well as Monyet.
Just an anti-eco.
Jiggling around the corner, see if we can get an idea of the
Does someone
position of
say?
T1 and their position.
How do you guys develop confidence in the vision of the game?
Connector.
I think that for me, I'm not as confident as probably Anders is about vision of the game. I think Anders Anders's process is to like is a bit different than mine. I'm very confident in knowing that like once we start scrimming that I'm gonna be able to help fix things, if that makes sense. And over time, I've been able to develop what I think is like more correct ways of choosing certain agents or compositions or playing the maps in certain ways. And so I think my foundational knowledge is decent. But ultimately, I'm just really confident that like as soon as we get on the server and start scrimming stuff, that I'm going to notice issues or problems to fix. And I think that I'm very good at knowing how players might want to play and the patterns that they're gonna do and ways to like coach them out of them in a way. Like I know what feels intuitive for players, and I also know I think what generally good macro looks like. And so I'm more confident in the process than the initial vision, maybe. Like in this meta at kickoff, I would have tried a few different things. Like double duelist would absolutely obviously be one of them. But I would try a few different things, you know. How do you first get into coaching? A friend of mine was playing in a semi-professional Counter-Strike team in 2015, I think, and asked me to coach his team. The team had Def in it from Sentinels back in the day. I coached the team for about 2 weeks before Def got picked up by Complexity in America, and then our second best player, or maybe our other best player, also got them picked up by Complexity. And so I did about 3 weeks of coaching for £50 that month, and then didn't do any coaching again until I made a team at Boaster. But I think I had a fair amount of confidence about it because one of my closest friends coached Counter-Strike, and so I got to see how it worked and like talk to him a little bit and kind of see, you know. And then Stiggy started doing it in Valorant. Like I already knew I kind of wanted to do it, but like seeing other people who were like I knew do it gave me a little bit of confidence because obviously like it wasn't so scary that like, oh well, people I know who I know their skill sets, like I think that I could maybe do that too, you know. Bro, he's just so dead. Yeah, that's not the RRQ aren't really doing much on the map. They have 4 ults, so again, they kind of maybe they're just like, we'll just play retake wherever they go, but they're not doing any pressure. They're not putting any pressure on the map, like at all. And they're just accepting fate. What SLK would say here is they're letting the other team press buttons. Like when a team just gets to press their ults and win the round, they're just letting them press buttons.
They cannot catch a break. They can only catch bullets.
How does this go so badly? Should we just skip ahead to the other side? Because it is a little bit all in, like easy X6 right now. How does the defense fuck up for T1? Is it the same thing? It could be. Yeah, SOK had a very Russian way of speaking, and it's funny because like Boaster thought that for about a year, like I think me and Anders would call like a default where you're like defaulting here and here as like maybe like an extremity default. SOK would say edge. He would say edge default. And for a year, Boaster thought that SOK was saying H default, which kind of makes sense too, because it's like it kind of does actually make sense because you got like, you know, the edges are like the places where there's like stuff happening. But yeah, for about a year, I thought you were saying H default.
Clear the drone. Get ready with the dash. Goes forward. Sticks it. Clear the drone. Monyet ready with the dash. Goes forward. Stick.
We're already seeing. I know it's just pistol, but we're seeing some activity. The problem is these two players might just be fucked.
The drone. Monyet ready with the dash. Goes forward.
Sheriff? He's got. Why has he got Sheriff and? Which poor bastard has had to drop? Munchkin?
Should go without saying, must-win pistol here for RQ.
Clear the drone. Monyet ready with the dash. Goes forward. Sticks it.
Okay, they're back.
Up the space. We'll just play back. Meteor.
Okay, we're in an okay position. Ideally, we would want some more damage here.
Try to watch this spot. Monyet trying to set up for that saturate. Ends up falling. Crazy guy needing to try to clear this out.
Yeah, it's just add to this duel, really, isn't it?
Here on both sides. Jemkin up and over the top. Meteor trying to find the kill, the jump out. Buzz. Only casualty is Jemkin will end up falling, and Munchkin will.
Okay, I thought they lost for some reason. So, unlike RRQ, there's actually pressure from multiple angles. And nice little retake. Nice. Nice, like, pressure start round. They actually did something on the map.
Meteor are going absolutely crazy as this double duelist combo.
But now they get E-code.
The mosquitoes are biting.
It's interesting that we've got Teo playing Teo A site. I've seen people play it like heaven for the wall hack. The like instant drone wall hack is kind of interesting. But backside A is slightly weird.
The mosquitoes are biting.
The stun's not bad.
Trying to escape. Bucky clipping him in the back of the thigh. Falls down to 70, but is alive. Monyet.
Where's his recon gone? Where's his recon? Oh, someone smoked. Okay, I was gonna say, where the fuck is the recon? Got nothing.
Monyet needing to refract out. Izu there at the top, spamming through, trying to find a kill. Eventually, will be able to get Expero, but Monyet raise it back.
They have to get E-code here, surely, for this game to go so badly.
On the ground. A very solid chance for RRQ to convert this. Saturated to the corner. Jemkin gonna be hindered. Jump out of the smoke. Cushy looking for the turn.
Okay.
Only able to find the one.
Oh, that kill.
Continuing with that Bucky finds a little bit more value as Crazy Guy. Trying to get it done, and he will.
I didn't see anything egregious.
But
Izu off the side, and there goes the rest. So T1 gonna just swiftly get things underway, move on into this buy round. So flaw.
Mini, could you give us 2 to 3 tips how to deal with an aggressive pace Waylay Neon Yoru in defense? I'd have to think, honestly. I'd have to think. Anything,
halfway to tying it up.
had to see if they could get away with an orb.
I think unfortunately
Denied, so deny them any more orbs of their own. Go again. This defender's side.
I mean, one thing Anders said earlier I think applies. It's like trying to go for that pick. You going for a pick and trying to go 5v4 and then accepting that that composition is going to overwhelm you on sites maybe. And so you just let them waste all their util and have a good like retake protocol is like a good style against that if you're able to. The other way is that you have to, if you can't convert, if you can't get 5v4s, you have to really just dig deep on your micro, I think. And like in this matter, you probably need to have very deep discussions about how you're going to try and hold against those agents in a way that I probably can't help you with. Yeah, I think Anders explains good. Be in or be out, don't half-ass it. So it's like if you're gonna fight, like option one is try and get the 5v4, like, and like get out, like try and fight them, get a 5v4. Maybe play like maybe your Yoru's on weak side and tries to get a pick and like dips out when they exec, and then play for full retake. The other option is like when you have your hard holding site getting hit, or you're ready to have 3 there, like you need to really understand how you're gonna try and hold it. Like unless you go into, and like I can't give you more specific tips because you'd have to go into every map and draw where the waylay dashes are, where the neon pathing is, and like you need to figure out subs that beat the common pathings. And if your team is on the same page about holding a site together, that is like the most key thing. Like some teams don't play the best absolute, like I was kind of saying this earlier, it's like I don't care if your idea is completely min-maxed out the wazoo. I care more if your team has clearly talked about an idea and practiced it and has a plan. If you see that neon wall coming in, do you actually look like you know what you're doing as a team? Or are you just guessing? Because I think the teams that actually have plans against stuff, even a mediocre plan is going to be better than like just half-assing something. I mean, so if you understand like, oh, I stand here and then you stand here, and then if he dashes on you or stuns you, I've got you, blah blah blah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I would just create plans for the hard holds, you know.
Man, high low on A. Stacks has moved forward.
What you're ideally looking at though is compositions that often don't have strong post plant. And so like this is a very poor example because both these teams have pretty okay post plant, but the double Jordas comps often have poor post plant. So if you can tax their util and make them use util for heavy exec, and then immediately fuck them up after that, that's also like valid, I think.
Actually a mid hit here. Deep Astra smokes, deep Brim smokes.
But if you just let Waylay dash in and then they don't use any util, then you are pretty fucked.
That they're doing this, but RRQ is
Hello, number one Kakuka's hater.
so that makes him a little nervous.
I'm not Kakuka's biggest hater.
All the way out into A main, nothing seen. So Meteor just gonna get posted up. The other 2 players get ready to rotate. Buzz sending out a couple shots, not gonna be able to find any damage. The double dash comes in. Monyet finding himself up.
I was trying to make a joke. I can't think of it. I was trying to make a joke that like people hate Kakuka way more than I do, but I couldn't think of how to say it.
All the way out into A main, nothing seen.
So that makes them that they're putting nope here on A. Stacks has moved forward a little bit, but this is actually a mid hit here. Deep Astra smokes, deep
Just a line.
Nobody knows this on T1. Nobody has any clue.
Look at these fucking stars, man. This is
But RRQ is fishing for a reaction. They don't.
This is the thing about these smokes. I feel like these smokes, like literally, like they don't let you. It's almost like T1 doesn't need to worry about middle because these smokes. It almost does the counter. I feel like it's the opposite of what the attack thinks it's doing. Like, attack can't take control of middle because of these smokes. In a way. It doesn't, yeah, they don't really make much sense to me. Drone comes in. Are we doing anything about it? Or are we just going to rotate? We're not doing anything about it. And then we drone middle as well. Like, I don't know.
The other 2 players get ready to rotate. Buzz sending out a couple shots, not gonna be able to find any damage. The double dash comes in. Monyet finding himself up over top of the site.
Why is Munchkin doing it?
Sat here, silently within the smoke, trying to play quiet. Here's this motion around him.
This is crazy.
Just jumping so they can't see his feet.
That's crazy.
We'll be able to turn back in time before Munchkin.
How did Yoru die? Oh, he just tried to run through a smoke and died. This is kind of mental. It's kind of mental. He's ran through and there's not even like a smoke here or anything.
Motion around his feet. They hadn't noticed, but Jemkin will be able to turn back in time before Munchkin. Munchkin finds more
This is an
people.
OT game. I'm not gonna watch OTs. I'm gonna go and eat after this.
Traded around the corner, Meteor suspicious, but
I'm just curious as to why T1 struggled so much on defense. I think defense is just defense, but defensive is just defensive is.
I'll find them.
Chempkins.
Meanwhile,
Again, a
exactly
nice,
comes through. Munchkin
They did
trying to
pressure
work his
here, and
way
then
over, but with just that pucky in hand.
I like that they do have this active pressure sometimes, but it can't be the only idea they have.
Field active done yet.
Munchkin's one of
Early
those
control
fingers
of A main with a TP and early control of middle. He has waylay ult though, so it's like ideally I'd want to see him keep pushing, but he can't really justify it when he's got waylay ult.
Great retake options.
So why even be here in the first place, I guess, is a question, to be honest.
That being said,
Munchkin's dead.
the same
This is kind of what Anders said. It's like half in, half out. We've got one player on site. So we're half in.
with that Hunter's, or rather,
We got a waylay Yoru ult, and we could easily take an extra ult if we wanted to for another player. Like,
Izu comes to do it again. That being said, Munchkin,
so yeah,
in contemplating death.
kind of hard to win now. And then we got Meteor not using ult or planning to use ult at all, just going for solo kill. Like, I don't accept this as a round win if T1 did.
From a 9-3 to now 10-8, that 4 spy.
Eco again.
With Crow.
That's such a bad round to lose that gun round. It's like forces you eco and you didn't get use your ults. Now RRQ has fucking every ult known to man.
Going to Haven next.
I will ulti. Just look for angles. Good angles.
Does he answer questions in his Discord? Yes. I'm gonna re-ask my question from a while back because I'm genuinely curious. I'm trying to help a player with a problem panicking very easy. I think it's just failure that persists even when he's in teams very positive. Unironically, someone asked me about this recently. Someone in the scene asked me about this. You genuinely inquire about a sports psychologist if they care at all. Like, if they actually are trying to go pro on any level, they either need therapy or a sports psychologist. I don't think that, like, I think that I'm probably the kind of person who might be able to help with something like that a little bit, but ultimately I'm not trained. So it's like I wouldn't even presume that I could help with something as like that. Like, it's a problem. I think it's due to a fear of failure. Like, it's so much deeper than that kind of thing is so much deeper than just being able to like coach a player out of something. Like, they need probably professional help on some level. Yeah. Any advice other than that? Fear of failure. I mean, the first thing to do is honestly bring it up with them and just talk about it. Like, just say, like, look, like, I think you know, I mean, the first thing they have to do is admit that they're panicking, and I don't know if they are. The second thing they need to do is tell you the reasons why, and if you can lead them to the idea that they have a fear of failure, then you might be able to work with them a little bit. But I think that, yeah,
Not gonna break recon ko.
I think that that's a kind of therapy or sports psychologist kind of thing, to be honest.
Wait, cap.
Deploying drone.
I'm blind.
A little spot, Munchkin.
Fear of failure.
Virgin Path's gonna be sent. Buzz caught.
Yeah, I'm not smart enough to have like a good answer.
Look at the Hunter's Fury. The double tag, a double kill. Buzz and Izu both get buried. What a catch. To brush aside the timeout call.
See, at first figured giving them more rigid protocols would make their decision making easier, but it does seem to be like an out of game thing. Panicking. I mean, you want them to stop. You're basically trying to band-aid it though by doing stuff like that. I think that on some level, you can try and strategically band-aid them, but on some level you need to try and hit the actual problem, which is them panicking, and figure it out. Which would be it's much harder, but
3v5 is Stacks
yeah.
looking to try to be the hero, but I don't think he reads that left side at all, but will wisely back away. Shot attempt from Meteor, unable to find him there.
I don't.
Stacks cannot get that second elimination. His team desperately needed him to find. Meteor stunned up, the approach over the top, the spot out, looking for the kill, the drop down. Eventually
Like things that I remember Magnum had a problem sometimes where he'd panic when he was about to shoot someone on a lurk, and I couldn't figure out a way to properly help. But ultimately some of the band-aids we had were like whenever like someone had an issue in game, it would my team was often had a lot of British people in it, and we the kind of people who would just take the piss. But I kind of banned talking negatively about someone's potential. Like British people are gonna are the kind of people who are gonna see your fault and laugh at you with it. But I think in a team environment, it's best to just agree as a team that you're gonna just like be nice, because I would prefer not, if I was a player who had like a certain issue, to not have it become a thing that was joked about. So I guess what I'm saying more so is that like discussing it as a team, and
This is really smart by Meteor.
like the best thing you could do as a coach is have an environment in where that person feels comfortable failing, and that person feels comfortable sharing that they're nervous and stuff, and as a team you're fine about it, you know what I mean? I think beyond that, if you try to go into performance coach stuff, you can try your best, but ultimately this person probably needs more professional help.
Towards A. This is really smart by Meteor.
Making their exit.
How deep is episodes of VCT favoring words as we know Pacific fake draw? I'd be so surprised if that was a fake draw. Like, let's be real. It looked a bit sus in it, but I'd be so surprised.
Right now, he might be able to find a bit of a godlier timing as the smokes at the front of the site are delaying RRQ, making them slow in the approach, but now he's once again going to be taken down.
But now they know.
Yeah.
But I guess like my logic when it comes to cheating is that like it's not worth cheating because the risk reward is too stupid. And of course, if anyone, I think I have enough people who can attest that like I wouldn't cheat in the first place. But like if you're looking at it from like a game theory perspective, like the risk reward is stupid in a lot of the cheating cases, and yet people still do. So maybe I'm not the right person to comment on stuff. But yeah, I don't think there's fake draws being made. The headset shit was a little bit bad though. The headset shit was bad.
Sparrow finding Buzz, Izu, just the stinger, grabs up the Vandal, and he will make his way out. Nothing more to be done here. That Stack's not gotten taken down, had not played forward. This could have just been.
My point though is, okay, bro, like if they were caught doing that, which is quite easy to catch someone doing that, the backfire would be so so much. The repercussions would be so big that it wouldn't have made sense to do it in the first place. Like
Round in their hands off the ultimate, just buying time, but no. Hubris strikes, and now RRQ are going to be gaining.
it doesn't really make sense to me.
Easy guy to get there. He feel they could take if it one. Time to jump. And then yeah, Stacks with the spacing error there. So you're I mean
Very passive again. We got 2 ults.
He's got to find an opportunity. They've got to find a play if they want to.
They're just playing behind the smokes.
Into this.
Yeah, I don't think they're
RQ has
not really doing anything.
They're gonna creates so much space here.
Bring a lot of doubt,
I think generally on Abyss, like, I think the way that I would describe the map is if you do something on the map, you're far more likely to win. If you don't do anything on the map, you're far more likely to lose.
Yep.
Munchkin. Out of this one now, saturate through.
They see him.
Yeah, he took some damage. Munchkin still
And as I say that, the doing nothing team gets a 4v3.
T1 trying to steady the ship.
What is that, though?
Finds another.
That's crazy. What is Stax doing?
Able to just spray forward, finding one. Jemkin gets
No, it's not
the
Stax, it's
down
Izu.
at the same time.
That's kind of egregious from Izu. We have Teo ult, Waylay ult, 4v3 retake. What on planet fucking Earth is he doing?
T1 trying to steady the ship, but Monyet finds another. Keeps it in with a 3v3. Convergent paths at the ready. The Armageddon going to be stacked on top. Cushy, absolutely.
Just the freaking Asian culture we have. I mean, that's a yellow. Can you not do that?
Screwed, and he didn't. Convergent paths at the ready. The Armageddon going to be stacked on top. Cushy, absolutely screwed, and he didn't stick for the plant. Spike now needing to be recovered. Buzz gone at the same time. Monyet doing well to still find value despite the earlier damage suffered. Meteor.
Things like the headset thing that is clearly like 100%,
1v2.
you know, there's proof, 100% proof. I think you should be more annoyed by.
But this time Meteor will find the
I think anything else that there's no proof for, you're just basically just
tie it up. Their
in a
first
conspiracy.
round win since the pistol in this.
Those 2 kills on the
Like the headset stuff is bad. Like players shouldn't have their headsets like half off and shit.
Max, oh man, that could have been a very different round if he doesn't get that follow-up off killing the clone. You're able to combine the ults for 1 kill. Man, that's quick from Monyet. Yeah, Cushy just knows. Rip. A weakened K.
Okay.
Answer here for T1.
But now they don't have ults to bail them out,
Finding consecutive to keep the match
and they
going.
continue to do nothing.
RQ obviously, I mean, the
They're not
cap
doing
is
anything.
so
Even I don't know.
strong.
Even just like a double push or like Euro TPs across to let the Waylay push down. Like, just do something.
You cannot rake the money.
Do something.
Once they'll have the work cut out for them. No ultimates available for
Even if they now drone time this, they're not gonna be able to do anything.
side.
Being paid
See, like drone comes in, what does that actually do? Like at this point, nothing.
towards mid
It's
here
over.
for T1, so they have just no idea. They just have to play a 3-2.
See, like they've not moved.
Concerned here for Meteor and Buzz.
The only way they moved was away from the site is about to be.
Being left on an island. The drone, the Tragic Sport gets the spot. Sends out the saturate. Not gonna go for the double dash exit. Instead,
It's that half in, half out thing again. Like they're just half in, half out.
charging forward, trying to flash him out, and he shall.
It's not very fun to watch this defense. I'm not seeing a vision.
Out and just their side. T1 even more
I think that's what I want to see from a team. Is like again, like I don't even care if they're playing perfect macro or min maxing. Just show me some vision. Show me that you've got an idea how you want to play this map that isn't just standing still across the map.
Stem the tide. They see the dash across. Meteor, however, unscouted for the moment, is able to find that kill. Buzz with another. Swings it, however, unscout.
This round is just stand next to the smoke, get 2 kills. Wait, did he put the? Oh no, he didn't. This is Meteors, which is kind of crazy. But
Try to stem the tide. They see the dash across. Meteor, however, unscouted for the moment, is able to find that kill.
I like this flash.
Swings into the corner, tries to clear him up. Sparrow still able to hold his own as the salvos land at his feet.
So
Drifts past
2v2.
those, spot out on a crazy guy, but makes it across the net fast enough.
Xpera whiffed.
Keeps him in with the advantage. Stealth drone now. Swings in for unscouted for the moment.
Look at the latest rotate I've ever seen.
Keeps him in and time. The break to this tower. Playing it. Deliver.
Yeah, right. I'm not gonna watch anymore. I'm not gonna watch the O2. Does Liquid Abyss look better than T1? I don't remember what that is. Any advice how to get more confident to talk to girls at uni? Don't treat it like you're talking to girls at uni. Get more confident talking to anyone at uni. Just talk to people. Just talk to people. Don't think about it as if you're talking to a girl that you're trying to rizz up. You're just talking to people. I assure you, like the best way is to literally just be good at talking. Don't talk to females. That's not what I said. I usually talk to them like male. I mean, that kind of is. I mean, but what you're kind of showing your own sexism there, Hooney. Like, you talk to them like a person. It's just that you've just you've basically said that people are males. Like, if you know what I mean. Like, you're kind of biased towards this idea that men are, you know, the default. Last round of OT is funny to watch. I'll get there in a second. Yeah, so the poetic kind of truth about that kind of stuff is that, like, anytime that I've not tried is like when I usually come across more attractive, I feel like. Yeah. If you just are funny and talk to people, like, you're gonna be fine. You don't, again, how do you rizz up girl? I just answered the question, you idiot. And now you're asking me stupid questions. You don't rizz up girls, and you don't go to openers. That's what I've just said. Get good at talking to people and being funny and asking questions. And literally just listen to what they say and then respond in a way that makes sense. It's not that difficult. Like, it's not that difficult. I think being funny takes a little bit of time if you're not funny, but... What if I'm scared of girls? I don't think you are. I think you're probably just scared of talking to people. Like, I don't really... Like, if you talk to old people and, like just strangers and, you know, people you don't know, I feel like it's the same thing. It's just that you're viewing you're viewing it in a way that's like for some reason you're putting more value on something that doesn't make any sense in a way. I love how I derailed this VOD review. I don't think you did. I think I was finished anyway, and I genuinely believe that there's so few people who would answer that question in a way that actually is helpful. And it's something I think about a lot because I used to be a proper virgin and I now coach young men for a living and had to think about this stuff for 5 years. Like, I know it doesn't seem like it's relevant, but, like, coaching young guys, like, has made me have to think about it sometimes. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I've had to have a lot of conversations about, like, you know, how they should treat, you know, that aspect of their life, you know? What do you mean a proper version? Is there an improper one? Proper just means big. Like, proper just means, like, if on a scale of, like, slightly virgin to, like, full blown, I was full blown, like, stuttering, looking at the floor, calling women females, you know? Almost a bit like what stupid RNG is right now. Has Alpha asked you for help with girls? Alpha does not need help with girls, but Alpha is one of my subjects when it comes to, hey bro, can we have a conversation? Red-pilled mini is a scary thing. Nothing I've said agrees with red pill theory. Can we talk about something else? Why are you uncomfortable? Why are you uncomfortable? I find it more weird that you're uncomfortable about me giving too many people saying female. Okay. I mean, it was a joke. The problem is now people are joking about this stuff, but it's like I genuinely I feel like it's not one of those subjects that people talk a lot about. And then the honest advice comes from people that are very fucking stupid about this stuff. I'm not pretending to be like a savant, but like I feel like I'm pretty relatable. I'm not like some fucking Giga Chad walking in, goes and like, oh my god, it's Mini. You know what I mean? Like, I've had to think about this stuff a little bit. Just need to figure out a pretense to talk to someone. You don't need pretense. You don't need. That's the thing. When I was at college, so when I was 16, one kid was this like he wasn't from the UK, I don't think, but and so he was a bit more like the way I viewed him was a bit more like he wasn't naturally conversational, but he would literally just go up to someone and be like, "What's your favorite film?" And it sounds really bad, and it wasn't like I wouldn't advise doing that, but he'd end up in conversations with people all the time because he was just had the balls just talk nonsense. If you're able to do that, but also have some social fluidity, you're pretty good. One of the things that I know a lot is that people don't compliment enough. Like when I was a kid, like I would think in my head, I'll be like, oh, that person's wearing a nice jumper, and I'd never say it. And like one of the things I actively have to do as someone who's not naturally the most social person of all time is if I notice something nice about someone, that's just an easy thing to do too. And not in a rizzy way at all. Just like if someone's wearing a nice thing or like, you know, just say it and just have a conversation. It's not that, you know what I mean? How to find ladies if you already finished uni. If you find that, let me know. Don't be weird, Cal. No woman's going to be impressed by your Valorant clips, no, because you're A, not very good, and B, not very funny. Is the stone cold truth to that one. I knew a guy who put a Valorant clip in his resume. Need to start complimenting people on my college campus. Yeah, how hard is it to you see someone wearing a nice outfit and you say, hey, like, I like your outfit. Like, where did you get that from? Like, you know, is it really that deep? Like, even if it becomes a conversation that lasts 2 sentences, it's like, you know, you've probably leveled up a little bit. It's not that deep. You one of those coaches that teaches guys how to be a real man. Stupid RNG. That's yeah. So I ask a woman about his clothes. I mean, obviously not in that situation. I'd be more careful. Like, it's easier, obviously, to do with guys in that situation. You have to be a bit more thoughtful when it comes to doing that with women. Because you can't just be like, oh, where'd you buy that from? And blah, blah, blah. No, we're not watching OT. Leave if you want to leave. But honestly, just people aren't judging you. Like, people, if you ask someone a question, most of the time they're like, they start thinking, they get self-conscious about their answers to the question more so than anything else. If you want to compliment people, compliment things and they can change or control. That's generally a good tip. I think that if you're a master of the arts, you don't have to follow that, but it's a good guideline. What if you really like their bra? Okay, you're not allowed to talk to women. You're not allowed to talk to women. Ignore all my advice. Stop talking to people. It might be safer for humanity if you don't talk to people. You're from Germany? Yeah, don't try humor. Don't try humor either. Yeah, you might need to be locked up. It's unfortunate, really. It's unfortunate. I gave you good advice and you throw it in my face. What's the best feature to compliment? I think what JT just said is relevant. You wanna compliment someone on things that they can control or change as much as possible, i.e., clothing or a choice, rather than, you know, things that like are more inherent. But if someone's funny and, you know, they're just being funny naturally, then you can say they're funny or whatever. Like, it's not that deep. Just don't go nice tits, you know what I mean? Just don't be stupid. Did Sentinels approach you for recommendation for coach role for them? Sen may have DM me. So you were in Charles on Tuesday. You can play Repo. No. My sister plays. I played this because Billy asked me last year. A bunch of people playing Repo in Billy's Discord. And then my sister speedruns Repo with her boyfriend. And so I played with my sister a little bit. Deep Rock Galactic was because of my sister as well. No problem, stupid RNG. I appreciate the question. I like life questions because it's fun to talk about. Did you see Kayak at the trials yesterday? Who do you think invited him? Okay, I'm gonna go eat. Any hot takes for Santiago? No. There's no hot takes because every take is any take not hot? Oh, last round. Is this the last round?
Look, good. Five, disrespecting the Molly. Again, by the cold media, good bit. Getting the Stacks pulling a poster, disrespecting the Molly, and getting the kill on the diffuser. Salvas again out.
When's the next world review? It should be tomorrow. It should be Paper Rex. I'm not going to say anything about anything. They just asked if I was available. Like, and I said no. Because I'm not available.
So go straight back into the action. T1 to try to close it. Munchkin.
Like, it's not news. It's not news. Like, any decent team worth their weight should be asking me questions, you know what I mean?
Close. The M1 hold media good for one easy.
Why is this interesting, Ryan?
T1 to try to close it. Munchkin.
What should be news is when I'm a free agent and teams don't ask me. That's what should be news. I should list all the teams that never approached me when I was a free agent. That would be real news. I will be doing an energy VOD review at some point. The problem is that we've got Saturdays when the tourney starts, and I need to get through a lot of VODs. So I might not get around to everything. Aren't you still free agent? No, I work with Zeta.
B1 to try to close it. Munchkin checking close. The M1 hold media good for one easy with another swings in, but to his demise, Cushy able to find the kill. Now it's Axe and Buzz. The DRX duo to try to see if they can bring this to an end. The reveal coming through, but the spam not connecting. And Cushy now.
Oh, they got okay, so they plant in a place where they can't actually spam, and the Brim money's gonna fuck up, right?
The Hunter's Fury as he makes his exit back into A main. Ensuring that
Did Koi approach me? I mean, some orgs just know it's not gonna happen. Some orgs know the answer.
T1 would have to fight their way out.
They have to push main. They have to go.
I don't know.
Start the Hunter's Fury coming through. Buzz getting clipped. Avoids the second.
Oh no.
Stacks taking point. Finds the first, but I don't think he's going to anticipate this player on the left. He does not.
Okay. Yep. Did TS or GE approach you? I believe both orgs have asked me in the past. Did you consider your work do you consider your work within kickoff as a setback or failure or work in progress? Can you be more specific? Are you asking, do I think that I set myself back? Or do you think that Zeta, what do you mean? I think that I think with the realities of some of the situation, that all in all, it was fine. It was fine. It wasn't super unexpected that they finished in the way they did. Yeah. I think I can be more open about stuff at the end of the year when it's like, how do I explain this? I don't expect there to be immediate short-term success with some of the things. I think part of my role is like it's not like immediately bringing to the table a revolutionary new thing that they're gonna immediately win games from. Like I don't see my role quite as that. Although I presume that that would be the hope for them for some things, but I think the reality of the situation is that that would be quite difficult. I think the way that I hope that some of it is about, you know, some longer term things, both coaching and org wise, and yeah. And also, like, I'm not like my time. I'm not a coach really. Like, I'm not like there. Like, I give them ideas and give them feedback, but I don't have. I'm not contracted for the amount of time that would involve me making every strat or anything. What do you mean no to? I'm just getting clip farmed here, aren't I? And you're just clip farming me. I'm just getting clip farmed. I would never work for two teams at the same time. Your strength is anti-strat, or am I missing something? No. I mean, I can anti-strat, but I'm not. It's not really like anti-stratting is the most time-consuming thing to do, and not a valid use of my time at Zeta. Anti-stratting is some of the most like boring, like just almost janitor work. It's real boring. Yeah, I wouldn't work for two teams at the same time. What I enjoy most as a coach? What I enjoy most? You mean like in terms of like my what? I just enjoyed. I think my best attribute was my giving scrim notes, basically. Like, I think that one of the reasons I find coaching difficult was because I locked into every scrim almost as much as players would. I would be watching every single detail of rounds and writing rounds down obsessively with notes about like how we should be improving, or what needed to VOD review later on. And so the days were very locked in for me. I think at some point I was thinking about doing this where like I'll find like I was maybe gonna talk to Lou or someone like GC team and like show you guys how I would actually do like my notes for a team for real and do it live in the way that I would do it. And so you could see like how I would actually give notes for a team. Because I think it's very different than these VOD reviews. I mean, it's not super different, but it's like you would notice the things I would pick up on, and I'm looking for patterns and trends a bit more, and grouping things up, and like giving suggestions and solutions. And what I would then rank as a hierarchy of like what's important versus not important. Because obviously in these VOD reviews, I'm just kind of saying things, and I'm not giving any importance or like weighted importance to things. Live scrims, no. It would have to be like from an official game, probably. It would have to be like me just watching an official game back without comms and just watching the minimap kind of thing. I mean, live scrims I would obviously do with Fnatic, but for PaperX, when I was head coach, I'd do live scrims. When I was assistant coach or when I worked with PaperX, it was, or even Zeta, it's like I give notes that are like, I just watch back YouTube. How did you learn to properly note matches? What's happening? What do you usually write down? I mean, I'd have to. I'd rather than me explaining to you, I would just do it because the answer is too broad. It'll be mostly macro related problems and patterns. I'm very quickly. I'm trying to notice trends. So like, I'll write down the round and then say issues. And if the same trend happens a few times, I then above these notes, I'll start to write down, okay, we've got a problem with retake B. And then like I'm trying to fill out some themes. And then once a few themes emerge, we have the rounds with the notes under the themes. And so at the end of the notes, it should be just a few themes that like are clear that we need to work on. And then this stuff becomes irrelevant. And then I keep this in mind for the next time I VOD review that map, because there might be some little themes going on that haven't quite become persistent problems yet, but maybe the cracks are starting to show. And if I notice them in the next time I watch the game, then I would be like, okay, well, I've noticed there's 2 scrims now that like actually it is a thing, you know. Did your handwriting get better or worse? I'm writing with Epic Pen. I would note matches with handwriting. Okay, right, I'm fucking off. Is there anyone streaming? Into streaming foot versus enterprise. Just Radiancy. Enjoy your vegan food. It's so oddly, the way you write is so oddly specific. It's very confusing. It's almost like you're a troll designed to troll me. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I'll catch you guys in a bit.